rhythm. Monk on the beat. Monk on the beat. Monk on the beat. Monk on the beat.
Woo! What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for hanging with us here. And yes, guys, this is an extra special long MCFing tonight. Not this particular live stream, but you might have seen MCF and others here around certain parts. And you might see us later tonight.
Sessions, yes. Might be
but
have a dark
we're
fun.
here to talk football tonight, guys. So thank you for joining us. Make sure to take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit the bell. You guys can follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily. And of course, hop into the Discord. Links down below in the description box. But there's some people we got to shout out as we get rolling here tonight, guys.
Yeah, remember, guys, we had a couple days off again. Not much news. You'll see the news here. Some guys who worked out, training camp schedule. I retweeted that. Nothing major. Dak Prescott off the hook, which we knew was coming. So all you're going to hear tonight is a lot of the, kind of completion of some information about our Dallas Cowboys. But, we're going to break it all down here for you guys. Cowboys chat / Cowboys quickie. And again, I'm a little still under the weather, believe it or not, still feeling like crap. So, we're going to try to get this done in a nice, speedy way here, of course. We do have to shout, like you said, we got to shout out those that run the show. And I do want to give a little pre-shout out to those that dropped some love the last couple of nights. Like Skeptical Fan in the thanks side of things. And in the Cash App side, Daniel Berry, Sco971, and Grateful Nomad. By the way, big shout out to all those guys and ladies. But also Skeptical Fan, second place on the overall board right now. And I'll explain more in a minute. But before we get to the second place spots, how about the first place spots? The people running the show here, especially when it comes to the sponsor of the week. It's the man McLovin. I know he's taking an early night tonight. He was a little stressed about that debate today. But McLovin, appreciate you. Sponsor of the week. I think it's, again, this is like a continuous thing here. This is kind of our third week. We're still doing, we only had like 5 streams. So we're going to finish it up this weekend and crown a champion. But McLovin has been running the boards, and he's also been running the Cash App crown right there. Big shout out to the man McLovin. And then, on the, again, After Dark specials, you know how it is. McLovin running it there. But Godless Manitoban also in here taking over that Stream Boss. He's part of the After Dark crew, but he is running the Stream Boss here with 71 points. And when you look at the gifting, champion, the gifting membership champion. It is the one and only Jet Li 44 for 7 out of the last 8 weeks. That's domination. Other than 1 week in the last 2 months, he's been at the top of that board. But he is challenged this time because he has one gifted membership this week. But Skeptical Fan, Skeptical Fan coming for the top spot, has 3 gifted memberships as of this moment. And if he holds on to that on Sunday, he'll be the champion once again on a new week, taking over that major spot there. Has been dominated by Jason Renf, by Jet Li 44.
I know.
And then when you look at the other side of the board here, which is the Cash App, McLovin is in the lead still on that side, and he's in there by a little bit. He's got a little bit of lead, but when it comes to the overall board, Skeptical Fan has got him in his sights. He's less than 5. He's basically like 4 and change away from the top overall spot right now against McLovin. So Skeptical Fan, 5 on it. He makes the move to first place on the overall board, not the Cash App, but the overall board. So that's the rundown there. Appreciate everybody who has dropped the love, whether it's here on our nights off, on the After Dark specials, and of course, on everything we do here, whether it's the different ways. You have the super chats, of course. You see the $sign in there. You can drop the love there and help out the channel. There's also other ways of helping out the chat. There's one of them. You have super chats. You got the thanks button, which Skeptical Fan has done.
Yeah.
You have, of course, jumping in the memberships, which, right now, last couple of days, no one knew in the membership, but now we have something new.
The man Jet Li 44 showing the love, gifting a membership
Who
to
got it?
the man McLovin.
Oh, McLovin in the house. Congrats to you.
Showing the love, and especially after how much fun we had earlier tonight, watching our 2 favorite grandpas talk things out rationally and maturely.
Yeah, just fantastic. Fantastic debate.
Don't forget the milk.
Yeah.
Don't forget the
Fantastic.
milk.
And Alzheimer's medication. Look, fantastic debate right now. Not. We'll discuss that in the After Dark session, mainly with some fun, tongue-in-cheek stuff, because nobody won this election. And we're losing. We're all losing here in America, whoever wins. But either way, much love to McLovin getting that. And extra special love to Jet Li 44, who's now 1 back on Skeptical Fan on the gifting board. And again, he's like 2 back, I guess you could say, from taking the lead against Skeptical Fan, which would put him on the board there for 8 out of 9 weeks if he holds it down for 9 on Sunday. That'll be for 9 out of 9 weeks. He'll have 8 dominating weeks there for Mr. Jet Li 44. So big shout out to you guys and big thanks to everybody in the house. Of course, different ways of dropping the love. I just talked about those ways: gifting memberships, jumping the membership, super chat, the thanks. But there's 4 ways you can really not only get to the top of the board of the sponsor of the week, but you could also be the Cash App King.
That's right.
4 specific ways, mainly done on the After Dark specials.
Do you know how, baby?
How? Tell me. Hit me.
You have the Cash App, of course, money sign MyCowboysFamily, the Venmo at my-cowboys-family, the regular PayPal link, and of course that Streamlabs link that lets your comment show up on screen just like a super chat would.
Hell yeah. So again, big shout outs to everybody who's gone that route as well, and we celebrate you guys as the Cash App King, like the man McLovin. And it's funny because this week he could technically win the Cash App King and still could lose the sponsor of the week. So we'll see how that goes. Shout outs to everybody on all those sides of things, and also shout out to those people in the membership levels of the Star and Over Everything level membership here in My Cowboys Family. Of course, the monthly jersey raffle. You can be involved in this if you're in the Star level or the Over Everything level. But you also, if you're a weekly winner like McLovin has been for this month, he's going to get a bonus raffle entry in, I guess you could say, for the month of June. So at the beginning of July, we'll do this raffle, and we'll see who wins this jersey. But it's not just there. It's also get the shout-outs to those in these top shelf level memberships.
That's right.
And I think we lost someone in there, so I have to update that. But, baby, why don't you give a quick shout-out to everybody who's running the Star level. We'll call it Star level because we don't have any Over Everything level guys in there right now.
But yes, extra special shout out to Skeptical Fan, always staying skeptical, Jet Li 44, Dwayne Broussard, the top dog, Lincoln Kane, and the man, the lunatic.
Hell yeah. Appreciate you all. Can't do it without you. And go Cowboys. Yeah. So as we do that side of things and do the shout outs and all that good stuff, remind you guys about the membership and the monthly jersey raffles. There's also some shout outs we gotta do in the chat, baby.
Of course.
So why don't we go through the list of people in the house right now?
I gotta kick it off with the 2
Let's
people
go.
showing the love.
Oh.
To start things off on the stream here, first of all, thank you very much to the man Jet Li 44.
Oh, hell yeah.
Bringing that 133 energy. You see it right there,
there it
$1.33. Go Cowboys. And 12th man off Grid Alaska with his own
Hey.
dollar holler. also saying, "Go Cowboys."
Yes, I know.
Well, maybe you're saying go somebody else.
I think
which
he's
I know who you want to go for.
Even the wife knows who you like, and that's the After Dark stuff there. So I
But yes,
appreciate you,
it
12th
has
mate.
been
Even if your guy's going to lose, we still appreciate you on here. So,
no matter who wins, we're all going to lose.
in a way, yeah. He's all up in Alaska, and I'm going to say he's repping that star over everything. So, hell, who cares who wins the election?
The fishing must be great, though.
Only thing that matters is you rep that star over everything.
Absolutely.
At least on this channel, it's not about the politics. It's about the Cowboys.
Yeah,
So
the
thank you
star
guys.
is non-denominational, non-political, only offends, haters. So it's an equal opportunity enjoyer. Although, we're going to talk about this for like 30 seconds, but the cheerleading show on Netflix gives the Joneses and our Dallas Cowboys such a bad fucking look.
I mean,
Oh, crap.
Speak
I hope we're not too early in the stream for me to say that word. Anyway,
probably
let me go ahead.
getting dinged right now as we
Shout
speak
out
by YouTube.
the people here in the chat. Aztec Aguilar 04. Yeah, like it was funny. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the memes that have resulted. But I literally saw one like 20 minutes ago where it was two old guys like fighting in like a nursing home.
You might
or
see that.
something.
You might see some of those videos on After Dark tonight.
The accuracy, I think, hurt more than the laughter soothed.
I'll tell you one thing. Though, I'm not surprised about either of the guys that performed tonight on stage. I'm not surprised about either side for their negatives. So
Pretty
it is what it
much.
is.
Like
expected.
the way that Cowboy seasons sometimes go, we kind of figured this was how it was going to go. Even if we had hope, maybe it would have gone better. Okay. Anyway, let me keep rolling here. Of course, we shouted out 12th Man Off Grid, the man Muck Lovin', have a great nap.
Yep.
Jet Lee 44 representing, Burn Bar, gang. We have, let me see, C Bass himself. Yeah, I think I felt too old just watching that, right? Like, let me get my walker, my tea. Leaside Harold, of course, representing the Dallas Cowboys as the #1 fan in Houston, right?
Repping those Cowboys, right?
Hey.
He knows it.
I know he's about Tommy Montoya. Shout out to you.
I see a lot of these people in the chat are going to be in the After Dark tonight. So,
Spoony Dog, what's up?
we
Yes,
all
guys,
fun.
if you do want to dive into more of the nitty-gritty details there, definitely join us on the After Dark.
It's going to be more of a, again, not a fight or a battle. It's going to be more of a comedy show, I guess you could say, tonight, because everybody lost. Except for the Dallas Cowboys. We always win. Anyways, go ahead.
I feel like all you need is the Curb Your Enthusiasm music just playing behind the big.
Maybe we'll do that.
So anyway, 24/7 Cowboys, hello and hi. Mike Aldana, much love to you. Cyanide, what's up? Thanks for rocking with us for a bit. Going back, Freedom First. Hey, you were not first. Actually, yeah, well, technically, yeah. Least side doesn't count. Freedom First was first. There we go. 24/7 Cowboys. Shout out to you as well. Brandon J. Hello and hi.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. I was going to say, yeah, like that's, I have my cheerleading outfit. Cowboys. Hold up your end of the bargain.
Yeah.
With that said,
Jet Li,
Let's
we're
go
trying.
ahead.
We're trying. We're doing our part.
get to it because we have obviously a few things to discuss. Dallas Cowboy direct and adjacent, of course. And especially during this off-season time, I feel like more of the adjacent stuff does have to do with us, especially since all the other players are hopefully sitting at home being good little boys and not out in the streets doing who knows what, where, when, why. So
that's a good one. I don't know.
So that's my biggest fear, I have to be honest. One of our Cowboys is going to get into some craziness. Cassie Stewart, much love to you.
Cassie.
Hey, keep doing your dental school thing. I look forward to having you as my dentist one day very soon. But seriously, shout out to you, Cassie. Thank you for hopping in here and saying hello. Skeptical fan always staying skeptical. He said Biden versus Trump, no holds barred, coming to a nursery home near you.
Nursing home. Yeah, I can see that being, they
did
should just fight it out and see whoever wins gets the president.
I made a joke with Seabass earlier. I kind of want to know what the chat thinks. So I did ask him, the candidate you do not prefer or Jerry Jones running the Dallas Cowboys?
I'd rather have Jerry Jones.
And he said the same thing. He's like, he's got a winner mentality.
Yeah, at least he's trying. And the other guys they're gonna try to ruin the team.
See. Calvin Richards, shout out to you.
Hell
Much
yeah.
love. And with
There
the
he
$5
is.
holler asking a very good question. PFF is rating the Cowboys' defensive line at number 6 in the league. Do they know something we don't?
I think they're looking at the pass rush more than the run stop. Because the run stop is the biggest issue for the Cowboys. Pass rush, we're great. We got Sam Williams coming in there as our third guy.
For you. Micah Parsons. He's doing a lot of carrying.
Well, yeah,
there.
of course. Him, DeMarcus Lawrence. You got Sam Williams. I think he's a fine replacement for Fowler and Armstrong.
I know, but if they ranked us 6th, they're obviously discounting a lot of what Tank does for us because his run stop always gets swept under the rug.
You got to remember, though, he's on the outside and the edge, setting the edge. That's fine. He does a great job.
I know.
It's about the interior and these guys that can take double teams. You got Mozzie and Osa in there right now, and no Jonathan Hankins, no veteran, just a bunch of rookies behind them. And I'm talking about undrafted and a 7th rounder. So when you look at that, it's like, did we really upgrade anything here? I mean, is there we went down, I think, when it comes to the defensive line, run-stopping side of things.
Yeah,
for sure.
As of now, like we kind of touched on this a few times just in a general sense, but offensively, I feel like we more or less maintained. Only because we obviously drafted so aggressively with the O-line. Because it's hard to say you're maintaining when you just moved on from Tyron Smith. That's why I'm a little hesitant to like fully say it with my chest. But I feel like we more or less maintained where we are on the O-line. And more of that has to do with Tyron Smith's availability than his ability. Right? But when it comes to the defense, I'm sorry. There's no way you can look at our current offseason and our current roster and not come to the conclusion that our defense is worse currently. That's it. Especially when you factor in the fact that there's a coaching change. Whenever there's change and new schemes and stuff, especially after some of the comments that Micah made about the fact that, you know, like he's still kind of adjusting to some of the things that, you know, Zimmer's kind of throwing at him early on. Change can be good or change can be bad, but change is also just change, and people have to adapt to it. So even if Zimmer ends up being the best thing that ever happened to our defense, it's going to take a little bit for everyone to be on the same page and get on board. So that's just my personal little 2 cents in that direction. Hopefully, Calvin Richards, that lets you know what we think as far as that ranking. But yeah, even I have to admit, it feels a little high for the current place they're at. I would still rank them top 10, but I don't know if I would put them 6.
Yeah, definitely.
Just being real.
Definitely seems a little high. If you look at pass rush, 6. You're looking at the whole defensive line, I don't see how they can do that. So.
Harley Dad, I think you got your teams mixed up. I think you meant to say F the 49ers and how about those motherfucking Cowboys, right?
Listen, I appreciate Mr. Harley Dad. He always speaks his mind on his team, even if he's wrong. Now, hey, Harley Dad, I hope you join us for the After Dark session. It should be a lot of fun tonight. It's not going to be like contagious. What is that? When you kind of battling back and forth. It's not going to be like
contentious.
Contentious, yeah. That's I missed the.
As soon as you said the con word, I was just like. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that it's not going to be, I don't have any anger. Some people out there are going to be angry, of course, some of those. But the point is, it just was an embarrassment for America today. Both sides. That's the way that's what I'm setting it up for later. So we're going to have fun, laugh, have some drinks maybe, and chill, you know. And so we'll do that in a little bit here, Harley Dad and the rest of the crew in the house.
So with that, skeptical fan, you know, that might be a good litmus test, right? Whoever can remember the first 3 words. Oh, they win it. Oh, like I said, let's go ahead, start touching on some of the few, like I said, I know we have some Cowboy things and some Cowboy adjacent things. And obviously, since it is the off season, a lot of this has to do with more of the personal lives of our Dallas Cowboy former and current players. So, including some slightly happy news that I think we have to share tonight, at least for Dak, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah,
anyway.
For sure, Dak. For sure for Dak. So, yeah, let me get right into this NFL. Even though it's NFL news, it is also
it's definitely Cowboy news too.
Cowboy statement here by Emmitt Smith himself. This might trigger some people on the political side of things. I don't care. Emmitt Smith said it. I speak it if he says it. So, Cowboys legend Emmitt Smith stands his ground on the DEI topic situations, right? The diversity, equity, and inclusion. Right? Yeah. So Emmitt Smith said, quote, again, Reggie Jackson spoke about the racism when he was coming up and in the minors and kind of, experiencing this racism in small towns throughout the South. And Emmitt Smith said this, quote, as I'm reflecting on Reggie Jackson's raw comments from last week and reinforces why DEI programs and initiatives must exist, his truth is a reminder of the pain and suffering endured by many of our black ancestors, including significant sports figures. Few legends like him are alive to share their stories and shed light on the racist history of this And this is why DEI is so vital for the progress of this nation. People with power, money, and influence that must acknowledge these horrifying times when America failed black and brown people to dismantle the systemic racial systems that still exist today. These stories must be heard so we don't continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. DEI work must continue to build a better America. And I got to say, whether or not you agree with this or not, I'm always on board with Mr. Emmitt Smith. You know it. Hey,
Harley Dad's building a better America
Oh,
by
Harley
joining
Dad.
the membership there, becoming a Navy
Hey.
Blue member. Just as skeptical fans said, hold up, wait a minute.
he
What's better
also-
than joining it yourself? Gifting and showing the love.
Whoa.
Thank you so much,
So-
skeptical fans, showing and gifting the love. Burn Bar, gang gang. Thank you
Did he
so
get
much.
it?
I appreciate
Burn
you both.
Bar?
Yeah, Burn Bar.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. And big shout out, thank you, to Harley Dad, who's jumped in. You know, he's a Niner fan. We got fans from all over. McLovin's.
Okay, I think we have a Niners emoji somewhere in there.
Oh, what's going on? What's going
I
on?
know it's been a while, but baby, 5
Oh,
gifted
we got 5 on it.
memberships.
From Harley Dad, which means he's flying up this board.
And what happens at
This
least,
overall
like,
board right here.
once every
And he's
100
also
or
in first
so
place.
Gifted subs. For some reason, my Cowboys family got a gifted sub.
What?
Congratulations once more, baby. I'm
What?
glad you can subscribe to your own channel.
That's so weird how they do
Kenzie
that.
Bands. Shout out to you, Dustin Roberts, much love, Brandon J, and 12th Man Off Grid. To all of you guys, huge shout out. And let me drop the link in the chat too if you want to be eligible for the gifted memberships. There is like a link or something you have to click.
So you can have to turn it on.
Yeah,
right,
I think
to
the little
accept
row. Is it gifted? I thought it was gift.
gifts.
Oh, was it gifts? Plural? Okay, whoopsie. Sorry, Skeptical fan, I'm going to give you a shout out here in just a second. I'm trying to make
I
sure I
got a
drop
lot
the
of
link
things
in
to
the
catch
chat.
up because Skeptical, by the way, he's in first place on the overall board after these 2 gifted memberships.
That's right. And
So-
Texas Cat is one lucky cat indeed. Thank you so much, Skeptical fan, for showing the love. Appreciate you, of course. Appreciate everybody here chilling,
Yeah.
hanging with us.
I mean, again, we know Harley Dad's a Niner fan and all, but hey, he's in first place on the gifting board. He actually tied for first place now with Skeptical fan. Skeptical's 2 drops right there. I'm trying to do this as we're speaking. Skeptical fan went to 5 gifted memberships. Harley Dad also dropped the 5 on it in one fatal swoop. So we got a tie for first place when it comes to gifting. And Jet Li 44 dropped one, of course. So he's at 2.
Hold that beer.
All right, I'm holding it. What do you
Because
want to do with
Skeptical fan just gifted another membership.
Oh.
Said, hold my beer.
it?
Thank you so
Man.
much, Skeptical
so
fan.
Skeptical all by himself in first place as we speak here, right? I didn't hear it drop, but I'm assuming
It's coming through in a second here. But thank you so much. And shout out to SD420
Oh,
or SD420 if you want to be.
Either way, you're in the house, in the membership, in the Navy Blue crew. So get ready for those emojis dropping. It's very soon. I should throw in that Niner one just for Harley Dad. Just to have
wait.
jokes.
Give yourself like a minute here. Let me shout out Brandon J, who dropped a membership message too, saying,
Oh.
you know, we're getting into it, but Bronny James, drafted by
Oh,
the Lakers,
that's right.
can now make history. LeBron.
Yep.
I'm not even a fan of LeBron, and even I think it's cute and a great story. And
Yeah.
every sport is still a meritocracy. LeBron's name might have opened a few doors, but he still had to earn it, and he will now see if he can earn his spot in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be with the Lakers if the Lakers keep his father, LeBron James. It'll be a son, a dad son situation.
Yep.
Pretty cool, pretty awesome on that side of things. So thank you for that, Brandon James, and
Thank you to Harley Dad
again
with that $10 holler.
Ooh. So he is still, let me make it clear, he's second on the gifting board, back by down 1 on Skeptical Fan, but he is moving right up this board here. Skeptical Fan is in first place on the overall board. This is a battle right here.
Now, I'm about to play some malicious compliance here, though. Sorry, baby. Because if you actually read the comment, you'd see why I said, hold up.
Uh-oh, what did he say?
He said, MCF has to say, how about them motherfucking you-know-whats, or else I'll dispute the super chat. So, now, we will absolutely say it. You never did quite say the tone in which we had to say it in, right? So,
Well, I don't know if I
how
agree with this
about
yet.
those motherfucking 49ers? You know,
Yeah.
just saying. Like,
How
I
about-
don't know about you. I don't do that kind of stuff with my
How
mom.
about those motherfucking 49ers? Disgusting pieces of trash. They still have 5 Super Bowls, and they've won a Super Bowl a year before us. So we are actually newer. We're actually winning. We actually have newer rings than the
How
Niners.
about them? Motherfucking 49ers.
Yeah,
Right? Like, I'm just
I
saying,
like the way you
there's
said that.
there's a lot of different ways that you can take certain words and say them and change their meaning.
Harley Dad, she did make a great point there. I think she got you. I think she got
And that's
you
what I
there.
said. I'm like, give me a
And
minute.
I'm ending it with the Go Cowboys as
Always
well.
Go Cowboys.
So yes, big shout out to you, Mr. Harley Dad, Mr. Brandon J, Mr. Skeptical Fan, Mr. Jet Lee 44. Everybody in the house, thank you all. Calvin Richard, of course. 12th man off grid. Everybody started off right here tonight on MCF.
I know that we all dream of watching our Dallas Cowboys and the Niners once again in the NFC Championship as the Cowboys move on to the Super Bowl, you know. Or you guys can keep going to the Super Bowl and losing. That's fine, too.
I'm going to be honest. We're still dreaming about just getting the fucking conference championship. So they got us there, but conference championships aren't Super Bowls. You don't win any trophies. You don't get a Super Bowl ring for being conference champ. So you know what? We still got them by a year, and we're equal 5-5 right there. So 5 is equal to 5. You know how that goes. Either way, we got Cyanide in the house. The After Dark specials here trickling on through. He's in the membership. He's in that navy blue crew representing. I don't know what team you're representing. A star for everything, I hope. But remember, as the season gets going and we get into preseason, the emojis drop. And if you have hate for another team, we got it for you. Every week it changes, and you have new emojis to pick from. There's also bonus stuff you can get from that when we have raffles and stuff during the season. So, hey, it's a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys jumping in there. Cyanide, welcome to the Navy Blue crew. As I update the board here, and the wife hits up a couple of comments here. I'll give you an update. Yeah, I'll give you an update on everything in a minute. But big shout out to Cyanide. Thank you. And go Cowboys. You know how we do it here.
Oh, and yes, thank you, Cyanide. Let me see. He said cheers. So
cheers, bro.
There we go. That means he's cheering for the Cowboys. Then, by the way, Jared Jones said, I'm going to make the Dallas Cowboys great again. I'm going to make our Dallas Cowboys win another ring again. My team will make more money again. I'm Jared Jones, and I approve this message. Sorry, I had to.
Yeah, you did it in the right.
A special
connotation there.
Yeah, just a natural connotation there. So, by the way, have to give a shout out here. While Mr. MCF is doing his behind the scenes updating work, keeping them scrambling, we just got a Go Cowboys officially through the PayPal from the man, staying skeptical fan, with a $3.83 holler. Thank you so much, skeptical fan. He's representing $3.83.
Oh, 83. I'm sorry. In the PayPal side,
yes,
touching all sides of things. The Cash App's been touched. The membership's been touched. The gifting's been touched. Now the PayPal's been touched. So, hey,
why do you have to say it like that?
You know what I mean? Touched. They dropped it. So appreciate you guys. Skeptical fan stays in first place as I add up the man Harley Dad. See what he's at right now, because he's closing in for sure.
Oh, and 12th man maybe, but I have to admit I can't think of anything more lame than giving yourself some jewelry for winning your conference or winning even the NFC. I have to be real. That to me is like the actual definition of here's your participation trophy. You did so good. You tried so hard, but you did not win. Learn to accept that.
Harley Dad, is he a Seattle Seahawks fan? I'm trying to remember if he's a Seattle fan or not. But 12th man, again, you guys got, if you got a Seattle fan, you got one on it right now. You got one. That's it. You only got one. So, maybe you guys get up there one day closer to the Cowboys or even the Niners.
By the way, Jared Jones said that his voice sounded exactly how he wanted it to sound.
I know what he means by that.
I'm glad.
Let me see here. So let me just give it out here, the breakdown on things here on our channel here. Because, again, we have till Sunday to crown a champion. And, of course, Sunday we will have champions, whether it's gifting memberships, the Cash App side, the overall board. Of course, you have the stream boss up there. That goes naturally, however. It's not done every week. That's done whenever it changes, right? When someone takes it over. Right now, Harley Dad is in third place behind McLovin and Skeptical Fan. So big shout-outs to Mr. Harley Dad, even if he is representing a subpar team. I can't really talk shit because they made the Super Bowl last year. And he not over yet, because Harley Dad said, hold up. He dropped another $20 holler. in the Cash App side of things here. Big shout outs to Harley Dad. Again, we know Harley Dad off on the After Dark session. I always have great conversations, even if we disagree about things, especially our Cowboys and Niners. But appreciate you here showing the love, support on the channel. We do this here. Again, we used to do it nightly, but the Cowboys literally stopped doing stuff this offseason. So, training camp comes going. We're going to be doing stuff every day here. And then, of course, regular season, how that goes. We'll see the Niners this year for sure. Maybe twice. Maybe hopefully in the playoffs. And we need to get some revenge. But we'll see them in the regular season for sure.
Yeah. And Cassie Stewart, it is super embarrassing. That's why I said that the Cheer documentary on Netflix, it does not paint the Cowboys in a good light. It makes them look like, well, I'm not going to say what I was initially going to say. But, like, people who own people and force them to work for them.
That's the way, I didn't get a chance to really watch as much.
No, that's what I'm saying. I haven't finished the whole thing, but I just cannot believe that you're actually showing your whole ass by admitting you're paying these ladies minimum fucking wage.
That's disgraceful.
Look, that's a discussion for once I'm fully done with the whole show. But
That'll be
our
on
Dallas
After Dark.
Cowboy cheerleaders are... Always.
Well, when we catch up on that, if we ever get a chance to watch it, I haven't watched it yet, we will definitely give our thoughts on that and more. They have the receiver a show coming up, which they had quarterbacks last year. They have the receivers coming around the corner. I'll be watching that for sure. But yes, the cheerleading thing, we always keep an eye on that.
And Boogie, what's up? Revelation journalist, shout out to you, who said Garage Sale Steven does not say such things. So
he doesn't. But I do want to make it again. Harley Dad mentioned when he dropped his 20, he said, "Am I winning?" with a lot of laughing emojis. You are currently one back on McLovin and about I'm gonna say, I'm trying to guess here, about we'll put it at 15 behind first place currently. Because you got to remember, my man, Harley Dad would have been basically tied for first or right behind first by like 1 or 2. But because of the big drops by Mr. Skeptical Fan, that put him in front of everybody else, and that kind of extended the lead there. So, yeah, it would start off with Harley Dad probably would have been right there in first, but now he's still in third by a hair behind second, and about 15 back on the man staying skeptical. He dropped a couple, gifted memberships, a thanks, and he just dropped another $3.83 in the PayPal. So he's got about a 15-point lead over.
Skeptical's representing on all sides of the board.
He's got about a 15-point lead over McLovin. And I would say Harley Dad's probably about 17 back on him. 16, 17 back on him, just to be sure. Big shout out, though. Thank you, sir. And can't do this without the love and support from you guys here. I think the board is fully updated, if I'm not mistaken.
We obviously had a little fun here with your drops and your commentaries and stuff. But like you were saying about Emmitt Smith, fully supporting, diversity and I keep forgetting.
DEI?
Equality, right? Equality.
Equity.
Equity, there we go. Initiative.
Inclusive. That's the.
Is it inclusive?
Yeah. Yep. It's the three. Yeah. Diversity, equity, and inclusiveness. So
I just assumed it was initiative for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So, but still, it's just nice to see him fully putting his support behind something like that, especially at a time where, that kind of stuff is being more heavily pushed back against. You know.
Yeah. I mean, again, there are some faults with it. I definitely agree, but there's also. I like Emmitt Smith said, there's definitely some positives in that, in my opinion. So I'm on Emmitt's side on this. So we support you, Emmitt Smith, always. My favorite player of all time. And Indian Boogie. Booging his way onto the Navy Blue crew as well.
Ooh, shout out to you, NDM Boogie. Hey, we've had quite a few people join the membership today. Drop them if you got them.
Those members.
I'm kind of sad we don't have a Niners emoji right now. Since we're usually rocking an NFC East style during the off season.
Yeah, we usually ignore the other teams out there from the other divisions because, we don't have to deal with them too often. But the Niners, we got to put them up there too because we seem to always have to deal with them. And we're always on the wrong side of it. So we got to at least give a little shit to them. It's coming, Harley Dad, just for you. Trust me, next show, it's going to be Niners up on there. So big shout out to Indian Boogie as well. And actually, let me update the board too there because... we gotta, I gotta make sure I add up all of the cyanide. That doesn't sound right. Cyanide and Indian Boogie up on that board. So let me do that real quick as maybe hit another comment or two.
No, of course. I wanted to read this one earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt you again. But Skeptical Fan said, if my Cowboys make it to an NFC championship, I will download that game forever. Honestly, I can guarantee you, Skeptical Fan, there's gonna be people getting tattoos if the Cowboys make it to the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
I'm being real. Like, it is going to be insanity.
But you know what?
It is so insane. I cannot even begin to fathom it, because as long as I've been a Cowboy fan, and basically since almost my birth, you know, the Cowboys basically decided to not do anything. So, at least for me, and unfortunately many fans, because remember, it's been how many years now? 20?
We're entering the 20. Well, we're in 28. We're going to enter 29 in January.
So we're talking about fully grown adults out in the workforce, probably married with kids and everything, like,
and no Super Bowl.
And no Super Bowl. Not even like a pinky ring of
not
jewelry.
even a conference championship appearance. Right? Which the only other team that hasn't done that in the NFC, the Washington whatevers.
Like, we haven't
Detroit
even seen...
broke that last year. They got back in the conference championship. And you know, they've been a little longer out of it than we have. The only team left other than us as longer as the Washington Commanders.
We haven't even seen a picture of people repping our Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl winner shirts, even if we like went and lost. You know what I mean? Like when they give away the shirts of the losing team and stuff, because now they have all these shirts that they printed up as like, oh, Super Bowl winners, but they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
we haven't even had the chance.
Yeah, those usually go to the poor countries, third world countries, to help them, you know, with clothing and stuff. And usually you get, you know, the team that lost, they get those shirts and T-shirts out there.
Yeah.
They haven't even made Cowboy T-shirts like that since we won the last Super Bowl. And they didn't have to even give them out because we won them.
Exactly.
But, yeah, it's been that kind of streak, almost 3 fucking decades of this shit. So you can feel our pain.
Hey, the clock resets every year, so...
Now, I do want to say one last thing. It was a comment you had made a mention about what the Cowboys trying or not trying. It was a comment you had made.
Yeah, and Kenneth Casey, thanks for joining us here. We do happen to be married. We do happen to talk about the Cowboys occasionally.
On this
That's
channel,
a joke. We talk about the Cowboys here almost exclusively. And again, once the season officially starts, you can catch us every single night live here talking about our Cowboys and whatever they're up to.
And again, guys, listen. It is a Cowboy-centric, you know, serious kind of stream, but we have fun all the time on here with you guys in the chat. We have good discussions. Yeah. We save all of the other discussions for the After Dark session. You guys get the this has been going on for now in a week, in less than a week. In a couple of days, it's going to be 7 full years. We're going to turn 8 years old, basically. We're going to enter our 8th year on July 1st on YouTube. So it's crazy we've been on here. After Dark, we're like 8 months old. After Dark. So that's the big, you can see how the difference. We went out there and just did that, multiple reasons, because we weren't allowed to speak our mind after dark. But now we have our own channel for that. But this channel is the football channel, and we still have fun on both. And by the way, both kind of combine to this channel. So anything dropped over there on the After Dark session, I do give you guys credit on this. Of course, when there's raffles and things, only the drops on this channel, on this particular stream, will be counted. But, you know, everything does count. That's why McLovin's leading the board. You guys all know McLovin. So appreciate everybody in the house that's dropped the love, membership, gifted it, Cash App, PayPal, all that good stuff. And let's get to a little bit of this Cowboy news, info, and updates. And again, I talked about Emmitt Smith, but let's talk about a little bit more of the NFL side of things. And honestly, this is something you guys probably under the radar kind of deal. I don't know if many people have talked about it, but you guys know every year we have a supplemental draft in the NFL, which really pisses off a lot of the scouts. Believe it or not, the scouts hate. They utterly hate having a scout in the middle of summer for these players that usually don't end up to be anything. And if you
understandable,
if you use a supplemental draft pick, you lose if you use let's say your 4th round supplemental draft pick this year, which you drafted a guy that wasn't eligible at the time for the draft or wasn't, now you're going to lose next year's 4th round pick in the regular draft.
You lose the equivalent draft pick in the following draft.
Yeah, so not many guys usually 1 or 2 guys are taken at most. Sometimes no one's taken in these supplemental drafts. Today, the NFL informed all the NFL teams that there will not be any supplemental draft this year. Now, this is a big win for the scouting departments and the community and all the teams. Area scouts, for each region, they hate supplemental drafts more than anything. It's the only real extended family time that they themselves have on their yearly calendar. They're scouting 24/7, 365. Yeah. So this is the only break they get, and they have to do supplemental scouting now.
Yeah, well, I don't want to work on vacation either.
Not anymore, though. Not this time. They get the summer to relax with their family. So, again, there's only extended family time that these scouts usually have. And there's nothing worse than trying to for scouts, nothing worse for, and this goes for every single team. Remember that, guys. We're talking, this is Cowboy news, but NFL news affects all the teams, right? So, it's nothing worse for these scouts to have to contact these universities and schools on players that usually have major red flags, hence why they have to be going to a supplemental draft. So they have to do even more research and investigation on the part of the year when nobody else is really doing. This is like the dead zone time of football news. So, yeah, middle of summer, and they got to do extra special red flag checks on these guys. Not this year, so that's the scouting department world is very happy. We haven't seen a player drafted in the supplemental draft over the last 5 seasons. The longest drought since the supplemental draft was started back in the 70s. So, again, scouts are not, they're definitely not sad to see it disappear. But the point is, I think that 5 years of nobody being drafted in this kind of...
It sounds like on both sides, one, it sounds like the talent needs of the NFL have definitely increased to the point where even the supplemental draft is just not quality enough, right? And 2, what team in their right mind or their left mind would ever pay, quote-unquote, a draft pick to grab one of these scrubs? Let's be real. No offense to anybody, but you are better off drafting even in the 7th round than you are possibly spending a 7th round supplemental pick to lose a 7th round pick in your future draft next year. Imagine
also the red flags attached to that player. Because these players are not clean-cut guys. These guys that have to be really taking a chance on. I know one guy, I think he was drafted by the Giants, was the last guys, in our 2nd or 3rd year of doing this. It was the last time someone was drafted. I think he was drafted by the Giants. I forgot his name off the top of my head, but I think he might be one of the Cowboys that are now back from the USL. UFL is in Dallas that we signed last week. If I'm not sure, if I'm not positive, might have been maybe DeAndre Baker. Was he the guy that was a supplemental draft pick? We were working him out. Last week, we signed the other guy. So it just shows you, even UFL, they still have these guys that are from the supplemental drafts that were wasted scouting.
A great example. Imagine if the Niners had decided the year they drafted Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy to get a supplemental draft pick the year before instead of the 7th round or something.
True, yeah. You lose.
I'm just saying.
Mr. Irrelevant there, right?
Lost.
Yeah.
For maybe just assuming.
And they would still have Trey Lance on their team right now, which we have on our team.
That's the only reason I wanted to say that.
Yeah. No, I mean, the thing is that, if let's say Brock Purdy was not drafted, he'd be undrafted. He would not be in the supplemental draft. The guys that are in the supplemental draft are the guys that are, not eligible for the draft because of red flags, and now they're kind of eligible in between. And then teams have to lose future draft picks. Now, if someone picks somebody in the 4th round and that same player is picked by another team in the 6th round, the team with the higher, put in waiver spot for that will get it.
It's a bidding situation.
Yeah, it's a bidding situation. So if you... The Cowboys use Steve Walsh. Remember we got Steve Walsh?
Do you remember the man Seabass?
Yes, I do.
Sorry.
He is back in it.
I love fucking with you so much, baby. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you so much, the man Seabass.
Back in the over everything level, and he's gonna be back on this show maybe this week, maybe next week.
Hopefully this week. I already shot him an email.
Good, perfect.
I told you, I'm 10 steps ahead of you, baby.
I see that. You're definitely ahead of me right now. So yes, I'm trying to catch up. I'm still sick, guys. Remember, she got sick with COVID from me, and I'm still sick. She's over the COVID. I guess those years and age make a difference, I guess, baby.
Hey, I mean,
Late night drinking sessions probably should stop for me.
Maybe you should just need to, have a sober Saturday.
I've had a sober Wednesday, Tuesday, and Monday, so
true.
Maybe today.
I think after today's
presidential presidential debacle. Presidential debate. I think after that, we'll have some drinks tonight.
Yeah,
for
I think
sure.
everybody needs.
Unfortunately,
to
I mean, we got
But yes, over everything, Seabass has been the one true representative of the over everything.
He's part of the OE crew right there. Big shout out to Seabass. And with that drop right there, the man Seabass, just gonna be simple, but be plain and simple about this. He jumps right into 5th place. Actually, I'm sorry, 6th place, right behind Mick. So big shout out to Mr. Seabass.
Thank you so much,
Go
man.
Cowboys over everything.
A quick shout out here since we got Red in the house.
Yeah.
Daniel Berry Sports, much love to you.
Mr. Rojo.
Thank you for rolling through and hanging with us for a little bit too. Kenneth Casey, appreciate you.
Yeah.
And yes, guys, one thing that we have been doing a little differently since our Cowboys decided to kick up their feet this offseason, we've been trying to bring you a lot more shorts when it comes to the Cowboy information because obviously on our side, we don't feel like it's fair to you guys as well to like advertise a whole live stream when we have one singular thing to talk about. So it feels it's just saying it seemed to be working better to be able to share some of that news on our shorts.
Yeah, it's visual. It's to the point. And, we don't sit here and one thing we don't do on this channel, what other channels will do and do clickbait and all that stuff is hey, maybe we're going to trade for this guy or pick up that guy.
No, we're not.
We don't do that here. Well, mainly because we know not doing it.
This guy did come.
Right.
Like, no, we don't.
Yeah, we don't play games.
Live in fantasy land. We want to live firmly in the reality of our Dallas Cowboy team, as painful
as
that is.
No matter how painful the shit is, and it is painful. Trust me.
So I think Jerry, I know you like short shorts. So we got short shorts, we got long shorts, we got medium shorts, and all the in between. But yeah, just throwing that out there.
Jerry got in trouble with those shorts
for
already.
some people who don't maybe keep up on the shorts side of things. That's all. I just want to let people know, if you're ever kind of wondering, like, what's MCF up to? Check out the shorts side of things. We post there very regularly. So,
yes.
But yes, Trigger Man and Trigger.
Trigger Man.
I made one comment one time, and apparently I'm driving the dead baby bus.
Yeah, we'll say after dark session, maybe if you want to clarify your point. Or clarify your joke, because it was a joke and people took it to the titty.
Unfortunately, when people take my jokes seriously, that just makes me want to double and triple down on them.
She's really made for After Dark more than me. Let's be real about this. You need your own After Dark, baby.
You surprisingly have more patience than I do.
I do.
Which is
when it comes
funny.
to After
when
Dark.
When it comes to certain things,
Because of the Cowboys, I don't have any patience.
A lot more patience, yeah. I have to have patience. That's all I got. Win something. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no.
We're getting lost on the sauce here. Let's roll back to some of those NFL comments I know you're about to make here. Ready. Look, Ready Red. Like I said, I like to have fun, but I jokingly, again, I'm pretty sure most of you guys are familiar with Dave Chappelle, but I've always liked it. That one skit where, oh my God, what's his name? Charlie Murphy, right?
Yeah, Charlie.
Where he mentioned
Charlie Murphy
that, I can't remember who it was, but he was a habitual line stepper.
Yeah,
that has always stuck with me because that is absolutely the best way to describe
God, what was his name? Which was the guy? Rick James. Rick James, bitch. So
there we go. But yeah, so when he called Rick James a habitual line stepper, I'm like, oh, that's me. Back to you. Not Rick James, just the habitual line stepper. Back to you.
Yeah, again, and also I wanted to say, Seabass back in the mix, back in that Over Everything OE group there. I got him back up there. Rick James, bitch, and Ready Red.
Thank you guys for dropping the names in the chat. I am so bad with
GM in the house, by the way. I wish you were our GM. Next drinking stream is basically tonight. But remember, guys, we moved all that drinking stuff. Clear this channel nice and proper. We just say fuck a couple times.
Family-friendly channel
here. Say fuck this, fuck that, but and we show our passion. But it's football. Over there, we'll have our drinking streams, and tonight may be today may be that tonight on that channel. So check it out. Have some fun there. But let's finish the fun here on MCF first.
You might want to check your phone first, maybe. Just double checking.
Oh shit.
Man, I just want to make sure.
This is one of those streams, baby, that we're just having a good time and having some fun because it's like, we're building up to the news and
I'm
info.
I'm just trying to outlive Jerry, okay? We got like baseline goals here. Outlive Jerry.
I mean, shit, the guy is mummified. We might not make it. But now with the 29 years coming up on fucking not winning a Super Bowl or even getting a conference championship. But speaking of all that, Harley Dad once again coming through with a $25 holler in the Cash App. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have to do the numbers. I don't think he's first place in the Cash App, but he's damn close. With the Cash App drop, he said Skeptical is going to have to apply for EBT by the time I get done with him, basically is what he's saying. He's going to put you to the test here. Harley Dad drop another 2.5, and that does officially put him in first place on the overall board. He jumps over McLovin. Oh, McLovin's not going to be happy about that if he wakes up from his nap for our show later tonight.
He has to get milk first.
And then we got Mr. Harley Dad in first with Skeptical just getting jumped by about 10 right now or so, 12. Harley Dad is in first place on the overall board. Skeptical in second, and McLovin is currently in third. I think I updated it properly. And when I look at the gifting membership side of things, Skeptical fan there, he's first with 6 gifted memberships. Harley Dad is currently second with 5 gifted memberships, and Jetly44 has 2 in there. So, man, it is a battle on all fronts this time around. I think McLovin is still in the lead in the gifted side, although I think, let me see. Yeah, not far back. On the gifted start, he's like 7 or 8 back, I think, I think he's 6 or 7 back on the Cash App side. On McLovin, that could be a whole takeover of Harley Dad here in a way, while Gallus Manitoban's hanging right there in the middle with 50 points on the stream boss. So
to me, 50 is still Sean Lee. I can't help it.
I know. Well,
and Indian Boogie, that is awesome. His son's teammate got drafted today to Dallas Mavericks. Jared Lucas. That is awesome.
That is
Congrats
awesome.
to him.
Especially the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, I wish him the best. But yeah, that's fucking awesome. So, hey, your son needs to grab a signature now, though. Be like, yo, we're buddies, right? We're friends. Like, sign my shoe or something. Just saying. Anyway, let's keep rolling back here.
Yes. I'm going to get back to the news. I just want to, as I look in the chat, another shout out to Seabass back in the OE, the over everything level, Harley Dad in the Navy Blue crew, but also the takeover, close to taking over the gifting side, taking over the overall side, almost taking over the Cash App side, Ready Red, Indian Boogie in the membership, Cyanide in the membership. Thank you all. Skeptical fan, always staying skeptical. Another shout out to all the fantastic people here that keep the thing going. On the nightly, we try, whether it's here or after dark, we try to go nightly every single night, somehow hitting it up, whether it's a short, whether it's a video like this, a stream, or, of course, the After Dark sessions, which happen as well. So,
now, like we said, we did have some happy news tonight.
Well,
and if you bought the NFL Sunday ticket...
Now, you guys know it's been around for a while. On DirecTV, now it's been on YouTube last year, and this year on YouTube again. You're probably getting some... If you got it last year, you're probably getting some... there was a message I got today. It said, if you order now, $50 cheaper. It may be a lot cheaper than that, and I'll explain in a minute, because we talked about this last week, when we did our little streams here and there, and there was a whole case going on, a court case going on about
NFL was sued because they didn't give full access to all the games as described in their NFL Sunday ticket package to people who purchased it. They got sued, and we were waiting to hear, okay, was it going to go in the NFL's favor, or were they going to rule against them? And we found out today.
It wasn't looking good for Goodell in the NFL, and today it's been confirmed. The NFL today has been ordered to pay $96 million in commercial class damages, plus another $4 billion with a B. $4 billion in residential class damages. And that was today's guilty verdict in the Sunday ticket antitrust trial. So, by federal antitrust law, that $4 billion really becomes $12 billion in actuality. The plaintiffs were seeking $21 billion plus. So it ended up being about $9 billion less than what they were hoping for. This basically, we know there's going to be, the NFL is going to appeal this.
Of course.
But the NFL's revenue last year was $19 billion. So even, again, I want to just say this. Their revenue was $19 billion, and this is going to cost them $12 billion. That's a big hit for the NFL, a huge hit for the NFL. I don't know if that means higher seats for the ticket. If you want to go and go to a game, I don't know if the owners are going to raise prices. The NFL is going to raise the jersey prices. Who knows? But listen, the dollar amount is what's going to drive a lot of these headlines. The real news is that fans should soon be able to purchase. Here's the thing. What comes from this? Well, people can get money back, believe it or not. If you had
This is America, baby. We believe in freedom here.
But now you're going to be able to purchase. Instead of just getting the whole package and you're forced to get the shitty teams out there, now you can purchase single team streaming packages. While also being this is also going to help.
Have less blackout restrictions.
Correct. They're going to alleviate the blackout restrictions at some point with the situation. So this should also set a new tone, a new feel for the way other major sports streaming packages do their things, NBA or MLB or NHL.
Yeah, I would be running in the opposite direction from whatever the NFL just did, unless you want your organization to be fined, especially now there's legal precedent.
Right, and now you're going to be able to pick. So now, as Cowboy fans, right, we're going to, and this is Jerry Jones, I think he wanted this, because he said, I can bring, my team, the Cowboys, can bring in more money than the damn Bengals. That's basically what he said. And he's right. I mean, if everybody's buying, if you're a Cowboy fan, you want to get just the Cowboy games, now you're going to be able to probably, I don't know if it's this year or how soon it's coming, we'll get more information. But now we know this is the next step, assuming the appeals fall through. Now, So now you get your single team packages. It's going to cost you less, but there's going to be more people buying it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think overall, the NFL is going to make more money. And again, they're still going to spread it out evenly. It's not going to just go all the Cowboy, team packages are going to go to Jerry Jones, and the Niner packages are going to the Niners, like the Packers and the Steelers. These popular teams are just, they're going to bring in more money because they're more popular, while the lesser teams like the Bengals, sorry Dave Brown, but like the shittier teams that don't get that much, revenue, bring in that much revenue, they're going to, the Bengals are like $3 billion and the Cowboys are over $9 billion worth. So Cowboys are going to bring in a lot more. And so are these other teams that are popular, while the lesser teams will bring in a lot less money. But when you put it into the pot divided by 32, it should be a bigger win for the NFL. But Goodell wanted everyone to just kind of eat the whole thing and just say you take every team and you pay the bigger price. And they were just trying to grab more for the kill the golden goose in a way. Now they're going to have to get the eggs slowly, but they're going to get their eggs. And they're still going to win, but they lost big time with this big loss of money. So NFL usually don't get hit like this. They got hit in the nuts today.
3 quick points on that. One, of course the NFL is going to appeal, but don't expect anything to change for this year, because whatever money they make by selling the package full price is still going to be worth it, especially if they end up having to go through with this. So I personally would say don't expect any changes till next year. That's just my opinion. 2, how are they going to handle, for example, I personally wouldn't want just the Cowboy channel. I'd want the Red Zone channel too. So that's where I'm kind of like, okay, that's another way they can make money. Not just like, sell the individual teams. I think a lot of people would be interested in adding the Red Zone package. And 3, a little idea, if you want to make revenue, keep things fair, and also do something that does have legal precedent, you can charge an out-of-state fee, even if it's just $1. If every Cowboy fan who does not live physically in Texas who purchased that has to pay an extra $1, or even for any of the other NFL teams, that could be a way for them to, in perfectly legal ways, make money back while also not like screwing fans over either, or adding unnecessary fees and stuff. Just to give an example, like that, I think that could be something you could see moving forward, especially since a big reason for these packages are for people who aren't able to see local games, or for people who are in areas where the game could be blacked out and stuff. Like, I'm just saying.
I also think about like fantasy football. I know people want to see it. Sometimes they want to see it. You might not care about the damn Raiders and Cardinal game, but there's 4 players that you're battling and you have in your team.
So now you want to watch.
Yeah, so
I'm just saying,
they're still going to get their full packages.
Also, I could see it being even by division. Maybe you don't give a shit about some other teams, but you want to see what the rest of your division's up to. I don't know. I'm just saying there's a lot of different ways it could go.
The NFL, they're going to be offering, if they lose their appeals, they're going to end up offering some new stuff probably next year is what I'm thinking. So just wanted to say again, since it's antitrust cases, they can triple these damages. That's why I said $12 billion. I'm hearing $14 billion, possibly, they're going to be paying back. You know what that means, though?
What?
Per household, that of those that have bought the NFL Sunday Ticket package, and again, I'm sure over 20 years, that's one thing. I remember getting it back. Maybe I had it when... back in like 2003 when they first like really had it unveiled there on DirecTV. And I had it for a bunch of years there. Switched it off for a couple of years. Switched it because we had the local games that go to the bar, so I didn't need to get it then. I watched them all there. Then once, kids were born and, we did the family life thing, back to the direct, to basically Sunday Ticket.
Yeah.
So we're going to see a little refund from them, I'm hoping, because what I'm hearing, it could be up to thousands of dollars per household that you get back from the NFL from this $14 billion
especially if
win.
You've been, getting the Sunday Ticket for
a
while.
And we
right?
have. So I'm expecting something back from the NFL from the situation. So we'll see what happens. Look, the next, just to finish this is pretty big for fans, right? But the sense now is that the NFL is going to appeal, all right? And they're going to appeal to the judge in the case, arguing award was excessive. All
You're
right?
making us pay too much for this punishment.
Then they're going to appeal to the Ninth Circuit if they lose that. And if they're still losing, they're going to try to take it to the Supreme Court. That's what I'm hearing. So get ready, buckle up.
That's why I said I don't expect any quick resolution to this. And until they actually come down with the final resolution, the NFL will continue to sell their $500+ package. Yeah, expect the price to go up, actually, after this news. I would not.
Yeah, they're going to probably... They're going to probably try to go all out to get as much as they can so that, when they got to give back the money or offer you some really good deals for these packages, is going to be a lot, they'll be able to make enough to cushion themselves. Trust me. They got a media package as well with broadcasting, TV, broadcast. That's billions and billions and billions of dollars they're making as well. So they're making more than just, the 19 or 21 billion that they made last year in revenue, 19 million in revenue. Anyways, that's that, guys. I mean, I see a lot of comments. 12 man talking about Jacksonville getting a new stadium. These guys, these rich owners, they're taking this money and running with it, but they're going to be paying some of it back. At least the NFL will be doing this, and so will the owners have to like trickle back some money. Will that mean they're going to raise the ticket prices and concessions? I mean, I don't know how much more you can raise them in Dallas. When you go to a Dallas game, it's going to cost you $500 for one person.
$20 for a hot dog.
I mean, it's crazy. A bottle of water is like $15. You kidding me, Jerry? Either way, now it's going to be $20 for the bottle of water. It basically is what I feel. I feel that they're going to do it because that's what the rich do. The rich get richer. They ain't getting poorer. They got to pay back money. Well, we're going to pay back some other way, unfortunately.
The Cowboy Rita is like $34.
That's true. Yes. It's basically, a down payment on a home. Anyways, moving on. Staying in the NFC East, the Washington Commanders, guys, they made some moves the other day. This is, again, we haven't been live for a couple days on MyCowboysFamily, but they made a bunch of moves with their football personnel department and support staff. Their legend, and first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl, Doug Williams, was moved back to the front office as a senior advisor to the general manager.
Okay.
Chris White, who previously served as an assistant director of pro scouting, he shifted to Washington's director of pro scouting, and former Falcons assistant director of college scouting, Dwayne Jones, was named the team's new national scout, the head of the scouts for their department for Washington. They also announced a significant promotion for the communication department, promoted Sean DeBarbery to vice president of football comms. Dylan Thompson's hired as a team senior director of team support. A lot of different stuff going on. He worked for the Houston Texans. A lot of stuff going on there with this, the new name, of course, the Commanders for the last couple of years, but the new ownership. And, of course, Dan Quinn, our former defensive coach, now their head coach. So, that's one side of things. Not a little side, but I want to slide to what the Commanders may be trying to do. And we talked about this last week when Jalen Daniels, the Washington Commanders rookie quarterback, was talking to Brandon Ayuk. And Ayuk was saying, the Niners don't want me back. And this is for Harley Dad out there if he's watching still. But the Niners were like, giving Brandon Ayuk
the cold shoulder.
Yeah, bring Brandon Ayuk, a wide receiver for the Niners who wants to get paid. Kind of, like you said, the cold shoulder. So he was kind of complaining to Jalen Daniels, who were their friends there, and the report now came out yesterday that the Niners and the Commanders have talked about a Brandon Ayuk deal, but the Washington Commanders decided against doing it.
Oof.
So I don't know if he was talking about the Niners, because everybody thought it was the Niners that didn't want him. Maybe he said that the Washington Commanders didn't want him.
That kind of,
and that's why he didn't want to go. That's why he was like sad he wasn't able to join Jalen Daniels, as his quarterback there in Washington.
Obviously, that connection to Jalen Daniels is probably why they considered it in the first place.
Yeah, maybe, but
I'm just like, besides his talent, that's not the point, though.
Yeah, after this came out, Brandon Ayuk posted, quote, "But I thought the Niners was never trying to trade me," end quote. So I think what he was being told from the Niners that we want you here, but they weren't going to give him a deal. He was talking to Washington saying, "Well, Washington don't want me either. The Niners don't want me. Washington," and then there was a report that the Washington Commanders then kind of backed away, decided against doing this deal for Ayuk. So he's stuck in San Francisco for at least one more year, and then he'll be gone.
Nothing worse than knowing you are not wanted by the team you are currently playing for. That's going to be a tricky situation for the Niners to deal with.
Yeah. Hey.
Especially if they want
for 1 year at least.
Production and result. I know.
For 1 year, but then after that, but Ayuk is gone. He'll be gone for like probably a third or fourth round compensatory pick. The Niners will for him when he leaves next year. So
Washington will probably try to grab him anyway when they don't have to be beholden to the strings of the Niners,
or have to give up a third or fourth round pick and then pay him the money on top of that. So they just rather just wait it out and hopefully get him in a when in a bidding war out there in free agency. We'll see what happens.
Washington definitely spent most of their money on the defense. Yeah. Not surprising considering Dan Quinn's the guy running the show.
And took most of our Cowboy secondary players. I say secondary, I mean in the secondary, I mean our backups and stuff.
This is like the third team that is made up of like 25% former Cowboys. Anyway, back to you.
So the last NFL news portion is about quarterbacks. Now we know, I think I talk about Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, he just announced today him and his wife are pregnant. He's got the big deal. We got a couple guys like Jordan Love from the Packers who's waiting, hoping to get a deal. They say they're getting close. And then you got Tua Tagovailoa who Haktuaing out there. Yeah, he's out there Haktuing. And according to multiple situations, no, not him. I'm saying that that's the If you guys know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. So right now, the big name, of course, on our side is Dak Prescott. Like, what the fuck is going on here? When are the Cowboys going to get a deal? A lot of people are saying just going to write out his contract. He'll just start over, rebuilding next year, try to trade CeeDee Lamb. I'm hearing a lot of crazy stuff. I'll believe it when I see it. The Cowboys are still saying, the front office, we want Dak. But when you look at Tua's contract, according to multiple sources, they're saying that basically you got a situation right now that the Dolphins are not offering the contract that is the market value for a quarterback of Tua's, abilities. So sounds like, again, they don't want to pay the $50 million or $55 million for Tua, and Tua's looking for that. Which again, with Dak Prescott right now, when you got Trevor Lawrence at $55 million, who's done a lot less than Blake Bortles, and definitely a lot less than Dak Prescott, you're wondering, what is Tua looking for and what are the Dolphins going to do? Because right now, a lot of question marks for Tua and his deal and staying in Miami for the future.
Miami is pulling a Dallas. They're basically undervaluing him currently based on market value and saying, will you take this to remain on this team? Yeah. And for a lot of reasons, players can say yes or players can say no or players can negotiate. They also seem to be maybe starting lower because they obviously don't feel like he probably should be paid the current market value. And a lot of people feel that same way about Dak.
I'm going to say this, though,
it depends.
about Tua.
Okay.
Because Dak hasn't had the injury issues that Tua has with the concussions.
I agree.
And those
Very
issues.
different situation.
So, I would have to see more from Tua if I was the Dolphins. And, Dak has shown us he's a top 5 quarterback, even higher than that when he is at his best and the team is at his best, right? When he's, at his worst, he's maybe a 7th to 9th top quarterback. So, were the Cowboys willing to pay for him? I don't know. But right now, Tua is struggling to get what he believes he's worth. Now, and by the way, I do want to make sure we clear up here. I see Seabass saying his chat didn't show up. Sometimes that happens with YouTube. It was happening on my own account earlier tonight when we were having the discussion.
Yeah, you're chatting on the MCF After Dark and it wasn't showing up. But no, I was going to say, like, maybe I know YouTube, completely outside of our control. They have, like, sometimes they genuinely will ban certain words. Yeah. And we do have, just the general filter against spam and stuff. So yeah, he said fuck them. But again, if you put the U in there, you probably get it blocked by YouTube, not by us. It's so dumb because you can type it all the other times and then it'll anyway. we know how to do it. Yeah, we know what you're talking about. Appreciate everybody again. Comment in the chat. Yes, bringing in your thoughts, dropping your if you got to find different ways of bringing of saying your thoughts, then go for it. We will follow you, hear you out, and see what you got to say. Now, staying with the Dak stuff here. Yeah. All right. Today, was it today? I think it was today. Yesterday, Dak Prescott had a sexual assault lawsuit against him, which the cops had stopped even investigating because there was already nothing to be found. And today, officially, Dak Prescott's sexual assault lawsuit against him has been dismissed. Not a surprise if you've been following this story, but some of the Dak haters will make it a bigger issue than it is. According to online court records yesterday, a Collin County, Texas judge threw out the lawsuit on Wednesday. Now, Cowboys, the Cowboys have basically they call it the Dallas Cowboys star attorney because he handles a lot of the stuff for the Cowboys, but he's also Dak's legal representative, and his name is Levi McCatherine, and he spoke to TMZ Sports, and he said the judge found that the suit lacked merit. McCatherine added that a hearing to discuss potential sanctions against Dak Prescott's female accuser, Victoria Shores, has now been slated for mid-September. So she's going to pay. And this is a great thing. So we could have this discussion on After Dark, maybe, because, you're a little more liberal than I am. Yeah. But I want to say that she accusing Dak of a crime from 7 years ago that never happened, that they had consensual sex, and now she wanted to use it against him when he's trying to get a big contract and bringing it up like she got raped. That kind of shit is just I think one of the worst things you can do. Of course, raping, and you get caught, you need to go under the jail. But to accuse somebody and try to ruin their life for extortion, it's disgraceful as well. And sometimes these people, we don't want to go after them because we don't want to discourage people from coming out and saying that they were raped or whatever it is. There's a difference between private citizens coming after. If they do go after her, it's probably going to be a civil case, not a legal case. Right. And if it's a legal case, I can already tell you what they're going to do. This is a libel suit. 110%.
Ruining his name.
You didn't just, I mean, I hate to say it, but you're not just Joe Schmo from Idaho, right? You're not just like some regular person living their regular life. This was someone actively trying to besmirch someone else's name and character publicly, repeatedly, and using our court system to do so as well. So
wasting court money, court fees and everything.
Exactly. So it's a little bit trickier, especially because, like you said, it was specifically dismissed, probably with cause. I'll let you continue with the rest of your...
I just wanted to say that, again, her name is Victoria Shores. She's the bitch who lied about this. Now slated for a mid-September hearing, and I hope she's found guilty and pays. She won't be able to pay. She wanted $100 million from him. She's probably going to have to just bankrupt herself, I guess. But police did investigate the claims and announced in May. That's why I said last month. They found insufficient evidence to even pursue the case further. We knew it was going to end up this way. It was just official yesterday.
Exactly.
And now she's going to pay the price, which she should and deserves to.
Yeah,
for whatever the reason, civil, criminal, liable, I don't care. She needs to suffer some consequences.
Yeah, Dak's lawyer said it best, saying, quote, "Despite Ms. Shores and her legal team's relentless efforts to extort money and damage Dak's reputation, justice has consistently prevailed and will continue to do so. The original lies by Ms. Shores, her team, and their recent failed attempt to sue him civilly are all just a continuation of their extortion plot against Dak. These ploys distract from the trauma of legitimate sexual assault survivors and undermine the progress that our society has made in supporting them. We're proud that Dak stands up against this injustice, and thankful Judge Tucker agrees." That is my point there. She didn't just try to accuse him. She kept continuously and repeatedly, and if they can actually prove the extortion part of that, that is what brings it to the next level. It's not just lying. Any motherfucker can lie for the most part.
I want to make sure I repeat real quick what happened. And if you remember, Dak, I don't know the exact dates of February. Yeah, he had a kid recently with his girl now.
He was single at the time.
Yeah, I'm talking about back in 7 years ago. I'm not going back to that.
Okay.
I'm saying when he found out about this, came out of the blue. He was just having a child, his first kid, becoming a dad, right? Sarah James, I think, is his woman right now. And he was, all of a sudden, out of left field, guys, he got an email sent to him and said, I need $100 million from you, or I'm going to go public about this. And it was more than that. Whatever was in that information, we don't know. I don't know what was in there, but we know it was something like that because it was so obvious that she was trying to extort him that he immediately got his lawyer, this Levi McCatherine, and the next day they filed a fucking, charges against her for trying to freaking extort him. And then, she wanted to push her. Now she went public with her side but he went public first. He cut this thing off before it even got started, and he was smart. Dak did the right thing, and it was so much proof on his side that it was a no-brainer. Now, some Dak haters out there couldn't wait for Dak to fall on this, and even Jerry Jones, he's even saying kind of like, we were hoping that's why we're waiting on paying him because, hey, if he was found guilty, we can drop it down a couple million a year. Jerry Jones is just joking in the chat, but yeah, I know you're saying it feels like it's kind of almost connected. It should be connected almost, but it really shouldn't be. And
see, Vass, now I have that song stuck in my head. Oh, Vicky, oh, so sick. Just the thought of being around you makes me oh so sick. I know, you don't even know. It's okay.
I was thinking with the hip hop.
I-C-K.
You can request it tonight later, baby, if you want.
Anyway.
So
what do you know about the Fairly Odd Parents?
Not much. I was very too old for that stuff. Anyways.
What a shame.
Anyways, Dak is clear. The Dak haters can now put another Dak cock in their mouth if they want to bitch about Dak about something. Find another thing. Move the goalposts. It don't matter. The sexual assault case, nothing of worry, and Dak handled it as perfectly as you could. I'm glad he did it that way, and now she's going to pay the price in some shape, form, or fashion. Now, what about, really quickly, guys, some odds came out. I don't know if there's any comments in the chat. If you want to hit it up.
Yeah, Jared Jones said, yeah, you can request a song tonight, MCW, for $5.
Yeah, you gotta pay the $5 if you want to.
Hey, there's no
play.
Special privilege.
You gotta pay to play.
Yeah, there's no special privilege.
You've seen her drop the love out there.
Yeah, and the best part is he can't say no to me. I get to pick whatever song I want. And last time I picked the special dog song that everyone loved so much.
Oh yeah, they loved it. I'll tell you one thing, baby. When you have MCW After Dark, I'll pay for my songs over on your channel. On that note, let me move it back over to odds right now. DK Sportsbook have odds for different things for this NFL season. They came out today, and they have the odds for the NFL MVP. Number one on the list, of course, Patrick Mahomes. No brainer there. Josh Allen behind him by a little bit, tied with C.J. Stroud, believe it or not, from the Houston Texans. Right behind those two guys is Joe Burrow. Then Jordan Love. Then Lamar Jackson. Then Brock Purdy. And a little bit behind them, Aaron Rodgers and Jalen Hurts. Also there tied with Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Hurts is Dak Prescott, with Justin Herbert behind him. So right now you got, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's about the fifth, tied for the fifth most likely to win the NFL MVP. Last year he came in second, Dak Prescott. Now, what about the Offensive Player of the Year? Well, Dak Prescott, not on this list at all. You know who was on the list, though, last year?
Who?
CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb, who's right now not unsigned. He's looking to hold out in training camp because so far, and I'll give you the quick update, there ain't no deal yet. Cowboys ain't even looking his way yet, as CeeDee Lamb still's working out away from, of course, this is the off-season time, so he's working out, doing his thing. But training camp is a month. We're going to talk about training camp. It's less than a month away. Nothing on the horizon yet for CeeDee Lamb. That will be an issue for the Cowboys. We got to go into the season without our number one receiver, maybe the number one receiver in the NFL. So we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. But until then, CD was on the top 5 list there last year of the offensive MVP, who was won. It was won by Christian McCaffrey. This time around, Tyreek Hill is the current favorite, only by a very little bit over Christian McCaffrey. And right behind McCaffrey is CD Lamb, who's a bit above Jamar Chase from the Bengals, Breece Hall from the Jets, Justin Jefferson from the Vikings, who just got his big deal, and CD should be getting a deal around that same number. It's $35 million a year. Saquon Barkley from the Eagles now, and Bijan Robinson from the Falcons. CD Lamb, just a little quick note. When you look at CD Lamb versus man coverage, man-to-man coverage, not zone, man, domination, 94.1 PFF analytical grade. That's number 1 in the NFL. And again, he's number 1 in the slot in the NFL since he came into the NFL. So, listen, Joneses, you can say and do whatever. You can act like the pie, too much money. We have no cap.
CeeDee Lamb
Bullshit.
is only going to continue to get better.
Yep.
I mean, I have to be honest, his confidence during this offseason has been nice to see, right? He seems a lot more secure in himself.
Yeah. After
And
last year, I
would
think,
say,
made a big difference.
Outside of that one absolutely horrific playoff performance, he had a spectacular year. And I do believe we're in for a repeat performance, especially as his and Dak's connection only gets better. Like, regardless of what happens in the future after this season, we know for a fact that Dak and CD are going to be the 1-2 punch of this offense.
Of passing for sure. Because we got no running game right now. Zeke, really? You know what I mean. So when you look at this, and you look at, I can go over to some of the dynamic duos. We look at PFF with CeeDee Lamb. Well, let's look at the offensive line.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Let's look at the offensive
dynamic duos.
Let's look at the offensive line for a second here. And when you talk about the offensive line, we have the dynamic duo of guards in the NFL, according to PFF. Because you should know, Zach Martin, of course, an all-time future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Zach Martin, number 70, one of our right guard. And our left guard, Tyler Smith, who could also play left tackle. This is the number 1 duo in the trenches when it comes to the guard position.
No surprise there. Yeah. Way to go, Tyler Smith, for rising so quickly through the offensive lineman ranks and basically playing at a high level from the day he started.
Zach Martin also, same thing, but he's established, right?
Yeah,
10 years in the league. My point is, Zach Martin, I mean, basically, I think most people will take Tyler Smith right now over Zach Martin because of his youth and his future ability to get better. So Tyler Smith is just going to get better.
That is honestly unfair. Zach Martin is obviously at a point in his career where you're going to slowly start seeing that decline. And Tyler Smith, like we just said, he's only going to get better from here. Again, it's similar to comparing Dak's contract to some of these quarterbacks getting their first-time contracts. Like, we all know it's going to play out differently when it's your second go-around here. But that doesn't mean it shouldn't be somewhat commensurate. And again, Zach Martin deserves all the respect.
Yeah, of course. But Tyler Smith, just with him and Zach Martin, you can't beat that with a bat. That's a dynamic duo in their own. And when you look at the defensive side, we talked about this the other day, so this is not a surprise, but I'll re-mention it because, yes, we know about offensive line stuff was mentioned today, but it was a couple days ago, again, according to PFF, the best edge duo in the NFL right now. And you mentioned them earlier, but we know Micah Parsons is one of them. I mean, no question. And then DeMarcus Lawrence, still one of the top guys out there, whether it's run stuffing and edge setting, or getting some pressure, using his moves to get pressure on the quarterback, hits on the quarterback.
It's actually
a
nice
sack
to
or
see
two.
Tank get the respect that I feel like he deserves.
So, again, just some dynamic duos in the trenches. In the trenches. We're talking about 2 guards and 2 edge rushers. That's the trenches. Maybe that's why they put a 6th. I don't know.
Yeah, and Seabass, it's funny because it was a very recent picture of CD that Mr. MCF was showing me.
Yep.
And honestly, you showed it to me to be like, look at his fucking shorts, how weird they are. Like, I'm just saying, like, you're showing me because he looked goofy, in your opinion.
Hey, listen, you guys...
And I don't know, I was just saying, I'm like,
it was
we've
more
seen
about
CD in a few off seasons and stuff, but he's looking like particularly...
Well, I think it was the shorts were a little goofy. But it's the style. I know. You told me that. You get me back. I gotta get with the woke
the
stuff.
Daddy shorts are in.
I gotta stay in touch with the crazy woke stuff. The wife helps me with that. So,
You're welcome.
But he had his goofy little shorts there, his pride shorts, whatever. But the point,
shorts.
The point is that there was another video of him out there where he's doing his route running and his training, and he's wearing a shirt that everyone said is like a nightgown on him. Like it hangs down past his freaking knees. I mean, you can't even see his shorts.
It was voluminous.
So, yeah, CD, listen, he's new age, new era.
Look, I'm not going to take any fashion tips from the guy, but all I'm saying is that I feel like it's not any major thing. It's something about the way he's carrying himself, genuinely. And maybe it is what Seabass said. Maybe he did, because he said today on like my Cowboy Chat Sports, he was like, I mentioned that in Madden,
I saw him on there. He was on there.
CD looked bigger in Madden than he does in real life, and I do wonder, because to me I feel like it does have something to do with his legs. Like, I'm looking at his thighs, and I'm like, they look meatier.
I'm gonna say this: I think that CeeDee Lamb definitely, obviously every year he's getting bigger, like stronger.
Yeah.
But I think it's Madden. I think Madden just boxes them a little bit, makes them look a little bigger than they are based on just the graphics. I think CeeDee Lamb's just a sleek, slim kind of guy. Anyways, even if he gets a little bigger, tougher, he still is gonna be always a slim guy. Just the way he's built. So either way, I think Madden is more of Madden making him look a little bigger than he is, but he is getting bigger as well. Yeah. Hopefully not slower, and I think we know that for sure. Now, CeeDee Lamb, and we talked about the trenches with the dynamic duos of the guards on offense and the edge rushers on defense. So let's talk about defense for a quick second again, because we got the odds to win the Defensive Player of the Year, which came out. And TJ Watt is the number 1 guy right now, tied with Micah Parsons.
Honestly, no surprise. They were battling it out basically all season until that point where TJ did overtake Micah. So
now, I'm going to go through it again. He barely overtook him. It's going to be another battle. I think TJ Watt and Micah, we're going to battle it out again.
Another barely. Both
you
of these
remember,
men
though,
are very talented.
TJ Watt had the numbers of sacks that really blew it out of proportion. That's where he kind of won it. But Micah has the pressure, the pass rush win ratio.
Didn't TJ get hurt last year too?
I think he got hurt for a little bit.
I know
he still had the sacks though. He had 3 sacks in 2 games, in 2 separate games. He had 3 sacks in each of those games, which is crazy. Plus a sack a game pretty much every time. So he had the numbers on Micah when it comes to sacks. But TJ Watt, Micah Parsons, once again the favorites to win Defensive Player of the Year, which TJ Watt did win. Micah did not. Second on this list, tied for second, is Nick Bosa and Max Crosby. And these guys are always in the running as well. So is Myles Garrett, who is 800 to 1 odds. They're a little bit behind Max Crosby and Nick Bosa, with Aiden Hutchinson from the Detroit Lions and Will Anderson Jr., I think, from the Jets. These guys are a little bit farther back. But the point
honestly, that's a real impressive list.
It is. But I want to focus on those top 5 guys. Myles Garrett, we're going to see in week 1. Good luck to Tyler Guyton against him week 1 in Browns. But it's more about the guys even in front of him. Max Crosby, Nick Bosa, Micah, and TJ Watt. Among the top 5 names, and I'm including Myles Garrett in there, only Micah Parsons and Max Crosby. Those are the only 2 guys that have still yet to win the Defensive Player of the Year. So Max Crosby, I think he's kind of going to be harder for him to get that. Micah is still in his prime. Max Crosby kind of hit the prime, and I think he's a little over the hill. He's still great, but he's not. I don't think he's going to compete with TJ Watts, with Myles Garrett's, and with Micah Parsons. So we'll see how that goes. Nick Bosa as well. But Micah right now, Micah and Max Crosby, the only guys that have never won Defensive Player of the Year, on the top 5 list of these expected guys for the Defensive Player of the Year. But the point is, right now, this is what's crazy about this. The stage is set for Micah the way kind of CeeDee Lamb was set last year. he can make a run at his first Defensive Player of the Year if he does do that. And there's no reason why he can't not only be close to it, but win it. The Cowboys will be entering negotiations for a second offseason in a row with him. Remember, the Cowboys could have already signed Micah. They decided not to. With now, he could possibly, if he wins Defensive Player of the Year, he could be fresh off the, winning the highest possible individual award, and then now in a situation where he is negotiating for a huge contract.
Yeah.
That means what I'm trying to say is, if he's $35 million this year, he's gonna be $40 million next year. That was Dak's tag. Remember, that was Dak's price tag.
Yeah.
That he's on right now playing Dak. That's Micah Parsons next year if he wins. Definitely if he wins Defensive Player of the Year, and maybe if he doesn't, he still might get something like that. So the longer the Cowboys wait, the more the Cowboys will pay. And I hate saying it, but that's just the facts of the situation, and that's the way it's been for years. I do not understand yet how this fucking clown show of Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones still don't understand the way this shit works. Well, I guess I should. Jerry's old, and Stephen Jones is really running the contracts. His dumb ass, he has nothing, no knowledge. He's a fucking chemical, what is he, an engineer?
Saw tonight what happens when you let 70-something and 80-something-year-old men run shit around here.
Disaster.
What do you think is happening with Jerry?
Well, again,
what do you think is happening with Jerry?
Jerry's got his issue, right? He got the old issue, but we got Stephen Jones. He has an unknown issue. He doesn't know how to run the cap. He's not a capologist. He just calls himself that. He's a
what is he? An engineer?
He's an engineer, guys, and his right-hand man who helps him get these deals done is his fraternity brother, who is also an engineer, and the closest he ever came to a football field was, locker room laundryman. I don't know. I mean, just locker room equipment manager. That's the guys running the cap for the Cowboys.
To be a doctor at your hospital.
Yeah.
But your friend used to mow the lawn at the football stadium.
Yeah, he used to mow the lawn at the hospital.
Yeah.
Now he's your surgeon. That's what the Cowboys, the good guy Stephen Jones doing this, he graduates with his buddy, and now they're running the cap for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
No wonder it's fucking in hell right now.
You're
No,
just
it's
not
crap.
qualified for this job currently.
GM-wise, Jerry Jones is not qualified. We know that for 29 years of coming up on that. And Stephen Jones is definitely not qualified since he's taken over his cap managing inabilities, I'll say. So fuck them both, these clowns. And not us, the clowns. Now, one last group of, I guess two last groups here, but let's go to the coaches because, again, we know who's on the real hot seat right now, and that's Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter 12-5 or 3-8, it don't matter. Odds to win NFL Coach of the Year, nowhere to be found is Mike McCarthy in the top 10 list here. Matt Eberflus, Jim Harbaugh, those are the top two. Robert Saleh, DeMeco Ryans, they're the next two on the list. They're tied. Then Matt LaFleur, then Raheem Morris. Then you got Jonathan Gannon and Dan Campbell. Then you got Shane Steichen, Dave Canales, and Dan Quinn. I had to mention Dan Quinn there at 1,800 to 1 odds. The point is, McCarthy's probably one of the favorites. McCarthy's probably one of the favorites to get fired first this year.
I'll be interested to see that list when it
he was the
comes out.
favorite like last couple of years to get fired somewhere in the season, get fired first. Well, definitely this year. Haven't seen that list come out yet. And one last situation I want to mention, which surprised me that he's not on the list yet, but I guarantee you they just forgot about him. They forgot about this guy because I do believe he deserves to be on this list. And it involves Trayvon Diggs, the comeback player of the year. Diggs played 2 games, then tore his ACL. If he comes back this year and can get back to his
high level,
play at that same high level, he should be easily one of the people on this list. But right now, Aaron Rodgers, of course, blew out his Achilles after 3 plays.
I hope he never comes back.
He's the favorite to win the comeback player of the year. Joe Burrow, who got majorly injured last year, throughout the year, he's next on the list. Kirk Cousins, midway through the season, was lost. He's 500 to 1 odds on the list here. Anthony Richardson, which is interesting because, again, rookie Colts quarterback last year got injured, missed the rest of the season. He's one of the guys on the list. Nick Chubb on the list. Daniel Jones from the Giants, on the list. And Deshaun Watson also on this list.
That answers your question right there, why it happened. Chubb's the only non-quarterback on that list.
You got that right.
So Trayvon Diggs won't even sniff that comeback player of the year just because, like it or not, quarterbacks are the ones that get
you know what?
the attention.
If Deshaun Watson and Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson, Kirk Cousins, Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, they don't have great years. They have good years even, or very good years, but not great years. If Trayvon Diggs has a great year, Trayvon Diggs will be on this list.
I know, but being a quarterback's like taking an honors class. If you get a B, it's like an A in a regular class. So a average year for any of these quarterbacks is probably going to still be enough for them to get past
I
Even
hear you.
Trayvon Diggs.
I hear you, but I had Diggs. Of course, you got John Stephens Jr., tight end, who will not be winning the comeback player of the year, and DeMarvion Overshown, who I guess if he has an incredible year, I'm sure he can make a run at this. The best chance is probably Trayvon Diggs, but you didn't hear that from me. He's not even on this list, on this top 10 list of guys that are for comeback player of the year. I don't know how you can miss Trayvon Diggs as a possibility. We got SCO 971. This is like the pre-after dark session tonight. Much love to the man SCO 971 with that $2 holler. What did he hit to say, baby?
He said, "Go sports, cheer."
Cheer. There's a lot of cheering going on over
Go
MCF.
sports. Put the ball in the right spot and get the point to win the game. Is that general enough for all sports?
Basically, yes. That's Go Sports. I hear it's Go Cowboys. I appreciate you, Mr.
The only sport that matters.
Mr. SCO 971. As always, appreciate you. He's a big player over there on the After Dark sessions. Appreciate you. I know he hadn't. I should have dropped the link more often on my After Dark channel, because I would definitely want people to know this is our main channel. We do this for coming on 8 years. We're gonna have a little party on this side of things probably in the next week or so. July 1st marks 7 full years, entering our 8th year on YouTube. So yeah, I know we've only been out there 6 months, 8 months on the After Dark, and for a year or two I've been doing some appearances.
Side piece.
Yeah, and doing again. Even before that, we were doing like just a little bit of shit talking here and there on different channels, and different panels. Now we got our own channel to shit talk on panels.
Yeah, we've always wanted to keep this channel primarily cowboy focused as always. So anyway,
again, a big time shout out to SCO. Thank you for making your mark. And by the way, here we have a stream boss. We also have a leaderboard. SCO's on the leaderboard, but Godless Manitoban down to 48 points on that boss of the stream right there. He's still hanging on. He's still hanging on there. Now, big shout out to SCO. Appreciate you and everybody else in the house. I see Godless. He's watching. Two last little things here before we shut it down for the night on this channel. We'll be going to After Dark a little later, like I said, and it depends how late we get off of here before how long I'm gonna be over there, how long I can stay awake, because I had a long day today, a lot of work. So, and then the debate stuff was the relaxation period, which was the annoyance period, really more than anything. But training camp, guys, and I should have really put up the picture of it. You can see it on the thumbnail, and I'll say it real quick. I'm not gonna go through every single date. The Dallas Cowboys today a couple days ago, announced their schedule for training camp in California, in Oxnard, California. Cowboys announced the training camp schedule yesterday, including a lot of chances, if you're out there or want to travel out there, to see the Cowboys practice live in Oxnard, California. The 2024 Oxnard training camp is going to be the 45th year that the Cowboys have trained in Southern California,
okay.
And the 18th season that the Cowboys has spent all or at least a portion of their camp at that Oxnard location.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
yeah, we've been out there, but not in Oxnard every time, Southern California, for basically not the last 45 years, but I think we skipped a year or two and didn't go out there because of COVID and
other stuff.
But 45 total years of going to Southern Cali to train for training camp, and then 18 years that the Cowboys have either done all training camp or a portion of it in Oxnard. Open practices, and this is where it gets going on our channel here. We're going to have a lot of videos, guys. I mean, we did it last year. We do it every year, and it's a big pickup for everybody who wants to catch the news and the info and just see things come out kind of as fast as possible, almost like you're there, in the clearest, best way possible. So the practice is going to start on July 25th, and it's going to end on August 21st. So again, July 25th, I mean, guys, less than a month away. We're right around the corner.
Believe it.
Right around the corner of this thing. And, of course, fans are able to attend Cowboy training camp for free on these open practice days. Public entry will begin about 2 hours before practice starts on each day. So if you're going to go out there, you get on lines, they're not going to, they're going to let you in 2 hours before training camp starts. And out there, it's mostly at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So you want to be out there at 9 online. You probably want to be there earlier so you can be at the front of the line. Make sure you get in there. In addition to that, the Cowboys will also be hosting their annual opening ceremony. The opening ceremony is really when the first padded practice kind of starts, and that's really when they start hitting. So even though they're going to be out there on the 25th, it'll be Saturday, July 27th, which is called the Cowboys Back Together Weekend, which is presented by American Airlines. Jerry Jones wanted to make sure I said that. But they're going to feature live music, appearances from Cowboys alumni, former Cowboy greats, autograph signings with Cowboy cheerleaders. We just talked about them, underpaid. And a lot more prize giveaways from the Cowboys. So they're going to do their thing in Oxnard. Just, again, other things the Cowboys are doing. Again, addressing.
Yeah, the first day or two is just them
Yeah.
landing, getting settled.
Yeah.
I think they have their physicals the following
Right.
day.
They-
So just
yeah.
all the little kind of basic shit
Yeah, I
you want to
think-
get out of the way before you kick off all the heavy football shit that's coming around the corner.
I think, if I'm not wrong, if I'm not mistaken, I went back and we did this last week a little bit, but going by the calculation, it all makes sense. We said July 23rd. Cowboys are leaving Dallas, flying to Oxnard and landing that day, that evening or whatever in Oxnard, checking into the hotel on the 23rd. The 24th, the equipment is there, the field is set up and ready to go, but there'll be no Cowboys on the field there, not to the public at least. There'll be no public open practices there. We might have some film or some footage, but it's not going to be any real practicing until the next day. Now, what happens that day, like you said, they do their physicals, make sure they're physically ready to participate, and some of them get designated to the PUP list, the physically unable to perform list, which that's a whole different. We'll talk about that when we get to that. But some players like Trayvon Diggs and others may be on this list after these physicals. It just kind of
takes a while though. Remember, guys, they're not dealing with our usual 50-something team. We're talking about 90-plus players.
Yeah, now we're talking about, with the exemption of the international player, 91 players is going to happen. Right now, we're still short a player or two. I'll get to that in a minute. We'll be filling that up quicker than you think. But we should be all 91 players out there. 91 players should be fully out there, checked in, physicaled in by the 24th. And on the 25th, the first open practice for the public, it will begin. Now, again, on that Saturday, July 27th, is going to be the Cowboys are back to Oxnard ceremony.
It's like the freaking Olympics.
Yeah, Jerry Jones is going to address the fans at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Pacific time on that Saturday, July 27th. And then the practice that day will be the earliest. It will be at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. The Cowboys will then, throughout this whole time, they're going to have Hero Appreciation Day. They have, some other stuff. Of course, there's preseason.
So we have themed preseason days, basically?
Not preseason, but practice days. The Cowboys back together. It's a weekend thing. They're going to have a dance clinic, cheerleader-wise, and they have Heroes Appreciation Day. But the main thing is this. The one I'm looking at is August 8th. August 8th officially is the scrimmage against the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh.
And that always ends up in fisticuffs.
Yeah.
And always fights, and this happens every year. So get ready for some great footage on August 8th. On August 8th in that scrimmage against the Rams. But yeah, guys,
they're a little delicate about what we name it here on these YouTube streets because they don't like violence.
if you say fight in your title, they ban you. So on YouTube. So we gotta be better than we gotta outsmart YouTube. But the Cowboys will then break camp on August 21st and then head back to Dallas-Fort Worth to the Star in Texas, in Dallas, ahead of their third preseason game against the Chargers. Okay, the first preseason game is against the Rams on August 11th. I think the second one is on August 17th against the Raiders. When we finish there, we finish out another Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday practice, and then it ends there. Fly back to Dallas, set up for the August 24th final preseason game. And then after that, the Cowboys will have probably 3 more practice days or 4 more days, which, of course, some of those will be available to the fans to attend there in Dallas. So, again, the final portion of training camp will that last week after returning, after the 24th of August, that last week before the final cuts. At the Ford Center, at the Star, there are going to be select practices. Probably 2 out of the 4 will be open to the public. Probably that blue and white scrimmage the Cowboys have, which usually means not much. But those dates and times will be announced at a later time frame. So just keep that in mind, when it comes to the Dallas area stuff.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes, again, guys, to the Oxnard stuff, 25th, the first practice. These practices are 11:30 or 11 a.m. pretty much every day out there in California. But, it's going to be intertwined with the preseason games and the practice. The scrimmage is going to fall in line with the upcoming preseason game. It's going to fall in line with when they leave in Cali, the Raiders, and they're going to fall in line with playing that Charger game in AT&T Stadium, which the Cowboys are ready to be back home for that on August 24th. So just a little couple of info pieces there about our training camp schedule for those that plan to go out there. Good luck. I know we're not going out there. Too much stuff going on the home front here. Got the kids' school starting up during that time. We know the schedule because it's always like this. Kids' school starting up. We got, I know for our jobs, sometimes I know during that period, we have extra stuff. We got a little rush portion there for our jobs. And then, we've tried to do this last year, and it was impossible.
Yeah, and that might be one of those times where it's a little bit more divide and conquer than usual here on MCF. Mr. MCF might be doing a few more solo things because both kids also have a very busy start to their school year and beforehand with their school activities and
first
work
year
and
they're
other
first year
stuff.
they're also first year they're attending high school together and in the high school and that's something. So and of course with the little G doing his band in high school, he's going to be starting before August. In July, end of July.
I think his schedule lines up pretty close with the Cowboys training camp
schedule.
So
basically, when we're doing this thing and he's over there doing that, and then my daughter, little J, she will be working. She's working already. She's going to be a senior. So, a lot of stuff. These kids, they grow up too fast. Time just flies.
By the way, Azteca, I had to read this comment by Azteca because I loved it. He said, I was at that 2021 scrimmage practice with the LA Lambs where Connor Williams straight made Aaron Darnold his biatch.
Yeah,
man, that still absolutely butters my biscuit when I think about it.
And, even before that, when we had some other scrimmages against the Rams and the Raiders, I'm telling you, there's punches being thrown, helmets getting taken off, slammed against other people's helmets. I mean, get ready for some videos to be released on that scrimmage day. Yes. It's gonna be fun. I see you, Azteca. So he's gonna be at the game, by the way, as well. That preseason game. So
now I know you mentioned that we still had a few holes that needed filling here in Dallas.
Yeah,
and we're starting to hear about the quality of the filling of those holes. In the sense of,
it's kind of
some players that the Cowboys are checking out.
It's kind of like a street prostitute fillings of holes here because it ain't that good. Like we just had
$20 pump and dump.
Basically, what it comes down to. Last week, a week and a half ago, we had 4 guys. 2 weeks ago, we had 4 guys come in from the USFL. I always say USFL from the UFL. All right, who we had brought in for workouts, and after the season officially ended on Sunday last week, the Cowboys signed 2 of those guys. Well, we brought in some more guys once again, and it's these 4 guys on your screen right there. Yeah. You don't have to see us for a minute here. Let me go through this real quick, guys. So, ending the stream with this news. This is it. And there's not really much news other than we worked out 4 guys. None of these guys are signed. None of these guys are wearing a Cowboy star in their helmet or earned it yet or going to training camp yet. But I suspect we'll probably bring one of these guys or maybe 2 of these guys to the Cowboys. Remember, we have 88 players on our roster right now. So, we have the max is 91. Because we have that exemption. So we really have 3 open spots. So Cowboys right now, they work out 4 players yesterday, a couple days ago, ahead of training camp. They worked out 4 guys from the UFL. It was on Tuesday when it was done. And as the Cowboys try to fill those remaining holes, those spots on the roster going into training camp. So the 4 workouts included these guys. Defensive end Jonathan Garvin. Defensive end Wyatt Ray. Defensive end Derek Robertson, and running back / fullback, John Lovett. You love that one here? So, look.
I don't like it. I love it.
There's 4 guys that are being looked at by the Cowboys right now. So, 3 of them are edge rushers. And I just want to throw out there, that tells me Zimmer's looking for something at the edge. A little more depth there. Could that mean the end of Chauncey Golston? Could that mean the end of a couple other guys out there like Veleme Fahoko? They're going to put pressure on them if they sign any of these edge rushers. 3 of them edge rushers, 1 of them a running back. So, Jonathan Garvin is from the UFL, from the Birmingham Stallions. Edge rusher Wyatt Ray is from the USFL, from the San Antonio Brahmas, which,
UFL.
by the way, UFL Brahmas, which are also, when they came in, they were the loser in the Super Bowl, I guess, in their Super Bowl. Edge rusher Derek Robertson is UFL. From the DC Defenders, you see them at the top left of your screen. And I say the Brahmas, these are the guys on the right side of your screen, both of them. I'm assuming that Jonathan Garvin is the bottom left player here on the screen. But the other 2 guys are from, I talked about Derek Robinson, the Defenders, and then running back John Lovett from the San Antonio Brahmas as well. So, we'll see the Cowboys add a running back here. It'll be, this will be a practice squad running back. This will be a camp body. I think all these guys will be camp bodies. We'll put a little pressure on those guys hanging on to those maybe practice squad spots.
Yeah, it seems like
if they sign any of them, right?
Yeah, it seems like our Cowboys, for sure on the run game, we're pretty much set. Like you said, it feels very much like just a body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the other guys, 1 is a coincidence. Twice is intentional, but 3 times, you're looking for something. So, like you said, I don't believe any of these guys can even come close to replacing guys like Chauncey Golston even, or Fehoko, but obviously
the point
that is
that,
signaling that he would like a little more oomph there and is looking for something different.
I think the camp bodies are, none of these guys are really going to stay, but maybe he wants these kind of guys because they provide something that's going to push the guys that are currently backups and third stringers on this team.
They might have individual specific skills that he's like, I want the other guys to notice that this guy is doing.
So right now the Cowboys,
great spot. I don't know.
88 players on our roster. We have 90 player fill. So we have 2 open spots, but because one guy was, and I talked about this last couple days ago, but undrafted rookie Denzel Daxon is now part of the IPP program, which is the International Pathway Program for guys that have played football later in their lives, and they are from home states or home countries that did not have football as offered to them, like Denzel Daxon, who's from the Bahamas. So we're working on 4 guys, but we have 3 spots open on this team there's still time we can sign somebody else, or we can sign another crop of UFL players. So let's start off with Garvin, all right? Garvin played this past spring in the UFL with the Birmingham Stallions at the bottom left of your screen. He recorded 20 tackles, 3.5 sacks. Again, remember, guys, the Birmingham Stallions, they won the championship. If you remember, we had Cavante Turpin a couple years ago come to the Cowboys from the UFL. And last year we had Brandon Aubrey, the best kicker in the league right now, coming from the Birmingham Stallions. So another Birmingham Stallion we worked out here, edge rusher, 3.5 sacks, 20 tackles. Originally, he's from Miami. He was drafted in the 7th round by the Green Bay Packers in the 2020 draft. And in 3 years in the NFL, Garvin recorded 32 tackles in his career, only a sack and a half. And he was released in July 2023 before going to the UFL and the Birmingham Stallions. He does sound like he has some NFL potential. So it's almost like an undrafted guy getting signed if we end up signing him. Now we have, of course, Ray, who played this year with the San Antonio Brahmas, one of the guys on the right side of your screen. He recorded 24 tackles and 5.5 sacks. I think Wyatt Ray. That was tied for 6th in the UFL with 5.5 sacks. Last year, Ray was signed as an undrafted free agent by the Browns out of Boston College in 2019, but then was waived after his rookie training camp. He was cut. Then he found his way onto 8 different NFL teams. He did have 15 game appearances with the Cincinnati Bengals, and another 5 appearances with the Tennessee Titans. He also added 3 more with the Denver Broncos. And one last note about Ray. You might say, well, Wyatt Ray, do you know this name at all? Well, he is the grandson of legendary jazz singer Nat King Cole, and the nephew of Natalie Cole. So, great lineage there. In the musical side of things, let's see if it translates on the football side of things. With those guys on the right side of the screen there. Then we have Robertson, I think he's the upper left of your screen. He played with the UFL with the DC Defenders. He recorded 32 tackles as a pass rusher, 4.5 sacks, a native of San Antonio, so he's known in Texas. Robertson attended Sam Houston State before going undrafted in 2019. He did make 16 game appearances with the Tennessee Titans and recorded 26 tackles and 4.5 sacks in his time in the NFL. Probably the best when it comes to NFL results and NFL stats. He probably did the best out of everybody, the guy in the upper left there. So, we'll see if Robertson can make this team in any way or even get signed. But he did play 1 year with the Houston Roughnecks of the XFL in 2023 before he was sent to the DC Defenders this past year. So, again, Houston, some of you guys might have seen him or heard of him. But he definitely has sacks, in his career in the UFL. But more importantly, in the minimal game, 16 game appearances he's made in the NFL, 26 tackles, not great, but 4.5 sacks. That's interesting. Just keep an eye on him if we sign him for Robertson. And finally, but not last but not least here, Lovett, who's a fullback / running back, could definitely find a way of maybe pushing Lipke, maybe pushing. We'll see what happens. But he's a fullback who went undrafted out of Princeton after the 2019 draft. Been limited with injuries during his time in the league, having played at 3 different positions. He played tight end, running back and fullback, which is important. The Cowboys love using the tight ends and running backs, sometimes as fullbacks also. So this guy fits the role of exactly what McCarthy kind of uses these guys at, the inline blockers, whether you're inline tight end blocker, a running back, or a fullback. Either way, he's played all three positions with three different teams. In 2020, Lovett played in 8 games for the Green Bay Packers, and then he tore his ACL, unfortunately.
Ouch.
So, again, he was most recently picked up and then waived by the Miami Dolphins with an injury settlement in August of 2023. That is the rundown of these 4 guys that we worked out. There's no guarantee we're going to sign any of them. And, guys, this was on Tuesday. We're entering Thursday here now, you know what I'm saying? Or Friday. I mean, we're entering Friday. I mean, we're already on a situation where are we going to hear anything? It's not like we have to wait for the season to end for the UFL. It's over already. So the fact that the Cowboys have not signed any of these guys doesn't bode well necessarily for them to, you know, to be on this squad for training camp. But we have to wait and see. And look, I'm not going to cry if none of these guys don't get signed. That's fine. I'd rather the Cowboys actually sign some real players that give us some real chances for upgrade or at least camp battles at running back. You know, at different places, always how offensive line could be needed, something like that. At receiver, you can maybe throw. I'm just saying. And on defense, there's many places we can go at, whether it's at cornerback, our fourth corner, we need some help there. You know, some depth. You know, linebacker is always kind of flimsy. A run stopper in the middle who can definitely help out Mozzie and Osa. Just some ideas. You want to get real guys, let's go to the real league. This is like the minors right here. And they're guys that are just playing kind of almost a different sport in a way when you look at the UFL and the NFL. We'll see what happens. We'll see. But that's the wrap-up on my side, baby. I know there might be a couple comments or thoughts in there in the chat. I do want to shout out everybody who dropped the love tonight. And there was definitely a bunch of you guys really helping out the channel tonight. So truly, you know, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate your love and support. Big shout-outs to Jet Lee 44, 12th Man, Calvin Richard, Sco 971, Skeptical Fan, always staying skeptical, Cyanide, Indian Boogie, Seabass, and Harley Dad. And I'm just reiterate some of these guys, because big shout outs to them. On the gifting side, Jet Lee 44, Skeptical Fan, Harley Dad. Gifting memberships. Thank you guys. And those that got it, say you're welcome.
Yeah, joining into the memberships.
Yeah, we got other people joining in the membership. Some for the first time, right? I think Harley Dad, Cyanide. We know Indian Boogie's been in the house. And we also know the OE in the house. Seabass back in the mix there. So, again, guys, thank you guys. You guys showing up from all After Dark sessions. Some of you guys already mentioned, but like Sco971, you know, and others. Thank you all for the interaction here on this side of our channels, I guess you can say, of our 2 channels. But that is it here. It's a wrap for tonight. So maybe I'll hand you the microphone, hit up a couple comments, do the shout-outs. Let's close it out. And then we could have a little fun for an hour or 2 on the After Dark sessions. You know how that goes. After Dark.
But yeah, shout out to you, Double R. Even you, Lee's side. Jared Jones said the only thing Watson beat was his meat.
Oof. Oh. Well,
Kenneth
no,
Casey.
he had a massage therapist beat his meat, I think.
Yeah, but, you know, he's not allowed to get massages anymore, so he's got to massage himself. But Kenneth Casey, thanks for rolling here with us tonight. And like I said, you did bring up a fair point, right? He said everyone's got to blame someone, and at least Jerry has enough backbone to take it. I mean, it's easy to have. I'm just saying.
It's easy when you forget every 5 seconds, though.
No, it's easy when you have billions of dollars. Like, listen, I'd forget shit talking too.
You know, I'm gonna say one thing about that comment though. It's just accurate, but also I want to add a little to it. The 4 pillars of the Cowboys. Jerry Jones has spoken about this. None of them say winning. But one of them does say competitiveness. Jerry Jones wants to be just competitive when it comes to making the playoffs. If we just, in his mind, if we're just competitive enough, we make the playoffs, make a run, and we feel like we can make a run, that's going to bring the same amount of money pretty much to Jerry Jones as it does if we win a Super Bowl. So it's more than winning a Super Bowl. It's about being competitive for these clowns. And that's not a winning formula in my mind. So I hear you, man. I hear you. But Jerry Jones got to take the heat when he's in the kitchen screwing up the cooking.
But yes, thank you for hanging with us. We have Aztec Aguilar 04, the man himself, C. Bass, the clown himself, Jera Jones. Double R representing. Revelation Journalist, shout out to you. We have Cyanide representing here in the house as well. NDM Boogie, hello and hi. And hey, for those of you guys born in the 909 or all the area codes, but it is fun to rep your kind of home area. So, Cassie Stewart, take it easy. Have a great night.
Much love to Cassie.
By the way, she's going to be in an Old Navy campaign soon.
Oh, shit.
So keep your eyes and ears open for when that happens. And, yeah. Just wanted to say that real quick. Let me see. Who else do we have in the house? Godless Manitoban rocking with us here too. SCO971. Cheer.
Chew.
Just trying to go back. James Herr, have a good night. 12 man off grid. You also have a great night.
12 man in the house.
Yeah, that's as far back as it lets me go. Let me come back down, make sure I didn't miss anybody new. That's Modius, right? He said the only Texan here is you. Eastside. Well, that's because he's not actually a Texan. He's pretending to be a Texan.
Well, I was going to make a comment.
He's actually a Cowboy fan.
I was going to make a comment that even if you like your hometown teams and cheering for them, you know, the one thing about the Cowboys that I've noticed since I was a little kid and living in New Jersey, my mom a Cowboy fan, a Roger Staubach fan, my dad a New York Giants fan, the one thing I realized, I mean, the star on the helmet, the beautiful cheerleaders. So, you know, Cowboy fan. My mom was, of course, cheering for them. But I noticed something else. We are America's team. Anywhere in America you live, Cowboys are your home team. And we're now become really $9.2 billion worth. I'm just saying, this is the world's team because there's no team that earns or is worth more money than the Dallas Cowboys in any kind of sport.
And if they're not your home team, guess what? They're probably your number one hated team.
Yes.
So either love us or you love to hate us.
Yeah, either way, it's that star over everything, baby.
And with that said, guys, again, thank you for rocking with us. Mr. MCF, we'll see you here shortly. And I just don't have Mr. MCF's late night capacity. My job is very different than Mr. MCF's. So
yeah, you're extra early, so this is extra late for you tonight.
Yes.
And for me, it's kind of like I can finagle it throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? I could kind of do a couple hours here, a couple hours there. Finish up.
Yeah, you're not tied to a daytime schedule in the same way that I am.
I don't. My stuff is not set in stone, so it's always movable. You have a 9 to 5 on the books. You know, you got to be there. And it's got to be early. So I get you, baby. I know you got to get going. We started late. That damn debate tonight. That damn fucking comedy show, and it's really a depression show. But either way, guys, thank you for joining us here. See you on the After Dark sessions. Appreciate everybody who dropped the love. Everybody hit the like and subscribed and all that good stuff. As we're almost at 38,000 family members, a.k.a. subscribers. We're almost there, though. Probably 20 away, 15 away, 10 away. I don't know, but we're really close to it. And, hey, can't do this without your guys' huge time, big time love and support, even when we don't go live every single day like we used to. Thank you, Jerry and Steven, for making our lives, I guess, boring when it comes to the Cowboys.
Certainly more interesting.
Right? Yeah, interesting in other ways. Making it go after dark. So we'll do that here tonight. For a little bit tonight. I definitely won't be able to go as long as I usually can.
You always have fun on the late night, but things get real spicy after dark. So
you know it. So, guys, thank you for joining us, baby. Why don't you let us know why we do this thing almost every single night for the last 7 years? Going to be in our 8th year in less than a week here on YouTube. Why do we do this, baby, every single damn night?
Because we're into pain?
That's
because of that navy blue?
You know it.
That silver, too?
Hells yeah.
That star over everything.
Over everything. You know it, guys. And here, on this channel here, on MCF, remember, no matter what, guys, good, bad, or ugly, win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly here, we always rep that star over everything. And again, like I said, almost 7 full years on YouTube, entering our 8th year next week. Celebratory kind of session, I guess you can say. And then an Aikman 8. But guys, almost 8 years doing this thing, almost into our 8th year doing this thing on YouTube, here on My Cowboys Family. Never forget the number one thing here, now, and forever. As always, go Cowboys. We got to get that 6th and beyond. Unlike the damn Niners over there, right, Harley Dad? Anyways, thank you, SCO971, the 7 years. East Side, even here, he even knows to thank us, right? Asmodeus and all the rest, Azteca, Cassie, thank you all for joining us. Everybody who dropped the love, the support. Can't do this without you all. Dropping the knowledge in the chat all night long. Thank you, dropping the love from above. But now as we close it out and clock out and drop out of this channel for the night, and relock and reload for another show. It could be tomorrow if we sign CeeDee Lamb and to get his deal done. Probably be a breaker of a day or two because there's so little news. But no matter what, we'll see you again very soon, no matter what, here on MCF. And as we close it out and relock and reload for the next show, baby, before we can officially drop out of here for the night, you know what you got to do. What do we got to do before we drop out of here?
You got to drop. the beat.
Oh, yeah. And that beat's officially dropped here at MCF. Guys, we just appreciate you guys dropping in, chatting with us, giving us your thoughts. You want to help out with the love, you know, we appreciate that even more. So thank you all for that. Can't do it without you. You could be anywhere on the internets, on the YouTubes, but you're here with us, chilling, talking about a little cowboy football and beyond. So, guys, thank you again for joining us for all the news, info, and updates on our Dallas Cowboys as we wrap up another MCF Cowboys chat. Yes, talked about it all. Training camp schedule, CD, still not to be seen yet. The four guys are working out here on the right side of your screen. Of course, Dak Prescott finally getting the answer we knew he was going to get when it came to that lawsuit that was going on, and now it's turned around onto his accuser. Interesting. Well, I'm sure we'll hear more about that in September when she's under fire. Here in MCF, it's always about that navy blue, that silver too, and you know it. That star over everything. Never forget the number one thing here on My Cowboys Family. Thanks to you guys in the house making it happen. Don't forget to hit that like button for the stream, hit subscribe for the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to all videos so you know when we're going live on the nightly. You can also check Discord on the My Cowboys Family side of Discord when we're going live, and also on Twitter or X, social media at My Cowboys Family. Follow us on Twitter at My Cowboys Family because we post there too when we're going to go live. And we post other news, info, and updates on there as well. Thank you all in Discord. You can join us there. You can, if you're watching us in a replay, don't forget to hit the like and do all those things. But also leave a comment down below if you want. We'll see you back here soon, guys. Everybody, truly stay safe. See you on the After Dark session. Peace, and never ever forget. Go Cowboys!
Monk on the beat. Monk on the beat.